Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Well, that was was it laggy to you, that intro? Because all of a sudden I looked down and it said, you probably should do a Windows update. And I was like, not happening right now. Not today, Windows, not today. But it was very laggy for me.
I wasn't
You
watching
know,
it.
I wish I would have seen that earlier. Anyways, hey, you guys, welcome to the live. Aspen Connor, co-host, and of course, good friend Charmaine are joining us today. We told Travis take the day off, right?
Yeah, no. Can you tell him to come in? I need his help.
Yeah, he has his son coming today, and he's like, I could probably pop on later or whatever. But I was just like, yeah,
Hey,
we
Callie.
got this. We got this. Yeah, there's Callie girl. Yeah.
Mustang.
Yeah, we'll do some quick shout outs here, eh? So Dustin Andrews in the house. I don't recall seeing an email from you, Dustin Andrew. I'm just saying, just calling a spade a spade. Our True Crime radio station will be live tonight for a trial run. Lisa Branham, hello, how are you? Mustangs in the house.
Hey, why do I know that name? Amber Blackburn.
Which one?
Amber Blackburn.
This one?
No, Amber Blackburn. Why do I know that name?
Oh, okay, I'm not there yet. Oh, okay, gotcha. Karen Bentley's in the house. True Crime Fangirl. It's a Crime and Shame. Hello. True Crime Housewife. Streamlabs always. If anyone doesn't post something properly and they put their period in the wrong spot, you guys don't forget, Streamlabs is going to tell you that you're trying to post a link. Just so you know that, obviously, because some people do that and they're like, oh, I didn't post the link. Oh, nope, you didn't. But according to Streamlabs, yeah, didn't do the punctuation properly. Hi, Diana. How are you? Callie girl, thank God it's Friday. Yeah, right. Little gambler. Hello. Kristen. Hi, Kristen. How are you? Let's see here. And then there's Mustang.
Mustang.
Spam, Mustang. Okay, Amber Blackburn. Hello, Amber. How are you? Let's see. Here to talk about how Ashley has nothing to do with what you try. Oh, well, Amber, you can take that topic and go visit maybe another channel by chance, because we're not here to talk about that today. It has nothing to do with our topic. So if you want to start anything in here, just know I'm going to boot you real fast. Just know that, okay?
Are you a friend of Ashley?
You know what, Amber? I'm probably just going to boot you now because I see that you're probably a troublemaker, to be honest with you. Probably in disguise of another name. But
right.
Let me just start the day off really good. Let's see. Block and ban user. Go find another account, perhaps.
Hey,
All
Deb.
right. Where's Deb? Oh, there's Deb right there. Deb's in the house. Chaotic Beauty and Crime. Hey,
Chaotic.
Right.
Chaotic. I had so much fun at your Halloween party that I wasn't invited to.
I know, right? Remember how she invited us and then she didn't like invite us? You know, same thing, right? Chaotic. I shared your nails, chaotic. I shared them. Remember? And I remember I was doing a bunch of stuff that night, and it dawned on me at some point, and I was like, "Oh wait, hey, chaotic didn't send us in the link or whatever." Um, that I popped over. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Maureen McMame, how are you? Sorry, Julianne. Forgot to say your name there. Sweet dude, Shibby. Um, and by the way, there's nothing innocent about Ashley Garth, okay? Ashley Garth and Garrett Kurtz are exactly where they belong. Nothing can save them for their own demise of how they have made their path in life. What email am I sending it to? The one that's right there on the screen, Dustin, that says a crimingshame@gmail.com. That one up top on there. Hello, husband. Okay. I think.
That underneath.
Oh, thank you. Husband's bringing me dinner right now. We're just gonna put that to the side. Let's see. I think. Hello. Oh, there's anything I like. Hello, all new to chat. Well, welcome. Again, just what, Charmaine?
I didn't say anything. No.
Something about somebody. Okay. Anyways, so just a reminder for people that are new to the chat, you can have whatever opinion you want, but just respect the people in the chat and respect the content creators, or you're going to find your way nicely out the door, because this is a very caring, enjoyable place to be. But have your opinion all you want. Just want to put that out there. Just to be fair, we're not into trolls or people disrespecting other people in this chat, okay? Just keep it clean, classy, nice, and have good conversations together. But your opinion can be whatever you want, okay, on a subject.
Oh.
So Joan, happy Friday. Sierra, how are you? And I think, am I missing anyone? Just sorry, I just don't want to miss anyone since I went this far. Nope. Oh, Sharon Parker. There you are, Sharon Parker. Okay. So don't forget, guys, and I'm just going to start the video off with this quickly, and then we'll come back to us in a second. So again, it says, give someone a membership if you have the ability to do so. But I am up until the end of November. I want to do something for the people that do support the channel, whether it's through a super chat, super sticker, coffee app, or PayPal, or whatever. That I'm just going to quickly play this as a kind of a sample. It's just a very rough sample, but the gist is there, just to appreciate the people that have put in donations. Not to say that the people that are in the live that don't donate aren't special too, but obviously, I want to do something special for people that purchase these super chats and help support the channel. And there goes Charmaine, starting it off. Girl, you're gonna go broke. Okay, I just really want to create a video after the end of November for everyone that has supported the channel. So this is kind of just giving you a rough idea what I'd like to do. It's going to be probably totally different than this, or maybe somewhat a little. Okay, guys. So we'll get that. We'll do that, and then. Yeah, you guys got Thanksgiving happening over in the U.S. pretty soon, eh? Let me just stop that. Okay, so just quickly, I'm going to say who got those. So Maureen McMame, you were gifted one from Charmaine. Kristen. Oh, hey, Michelle After Dark. Are you in the house right now? Michelle After Dark, I know that name from the Nicola Bully case. Shelly and a girl was gifted a membership by Charmaine. So again, thank you guys so much. You guys can play with those emojis obviously now and stuff like that. So make sure you thank Charmaine for gifting those memberships. Okay, guys?
You're welcome.
Oh, there's Ivy. But I'm so sorry. Did I not see you, Ivy? Oh, Sunny doesn't love me. Yeah, you're right. It's going to go off 2 more times on there. Ivy, love costs. Remember that. I told you this specifically today, right? Knock it off or you get out of the group. No, just kidding. We love Ivy. Ivy was on last night to us, you guys. I was sent about the station. Thank you. I love the background. You're a good artist. Ooh, it's not. Sierra, although I can paint, and one day I'll probably do a live where I'm painting, that's just a piece of good old work from google.com for that. But it's nice. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like when I go into the washroom, back there, and it's got the ambionic or whatever you want to call ambient light, and I almost feel like I'm going into this like cozy bathroom, like the dim light. That's what kind of this reminds me. Yeah, that should be the last one. Oh, Ivy is going to join us, is she?
Oh, I have to say something really quickly. Chaotic did in fact invite me, and I'm assuming you as well, by email. I just didn't see the email.
Was that okay? I just want to clarify. Did she just send it to you? Because I don't recall seeing one, but I cannot confirm or deny that at this moment. I'd have to actually.
I mean, she sent me the screenshot of the email she sent me, and I was like, "Oh, I never checked my email." Sorry.
Yeah, just pencil me back in for 2030, and I'll be.
But I want to apologize because I she did invite me, and I didn't see it.
Chaotic, can you roughly tell me if you did the same for me, so I don't have to go, fact check on that one? So, anyways, you guys, so we're gonna get in to the documents first. Give me a moment. She doesn't even know, right? But we're gonna get into. There's 4 documents that were dropped today. One of them is just the 12-page kind of response, so that will just be a quick summary. And then there was the motion to clarify, the response to the clarify, 1 page. So it's basically 2 1-pages, 1 4-page, and then the 12-page ones that will be a very small summary. Yes, you did. Ooh, okay. Well, you know what? I don't know what words came out of my mouth when you were like saying that stuff. Obviously, I mean, I can admit when I'm wrong. I totally thought that she shaded us. And I was like, I don't care. I still love her. I don't really look at my emails, nor did I see one come in. I mean, I do look at certain emails that catch my eye, in the whatever. But anyway, okay. I'm just going to verify that later just to make sure that you are right still. Anyways, so Adam, can you just take back the words that we just said and just change it to like we love chaotic and
we do love chaotic.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get invited to some Christmas party instead. But if you could do that through Messenger, that would be great. I can see my messenger. Yeah. Okay.
Messenger's always best. But
okay.
Mustang said for Adam just made Mustang. I was watching a live the other day. And there were like every 2 seconds there was a commercial in the live. So annoying. So I apologize for anyone that can't stand the commercials. It's almost worth getting YouTube Premium for.
Well, see, the thing is, YouTube Premium wants you to get
so
YouTube
annoying.
Premium, because there's a difference. Most of you guys don't care if you're not a creator, but when you get YouTube Premium, it might all sound really good, like when you're getting YouTube ads paid by YouTube Premium users. No, it actually is a bunch of crap amount of money from the YouTube Premium ones. So it sounds good. Listen to the ear when you hear the word premium.
Especially when you see how much because it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's like $20 a month.
It's $17.99, but I think that's American and I'm Canadian, so it's probably more like.
I pay like $25 a month for a family.
We do the family one. Yeah. I had the family one originally, but it went from like $11.99 very fast to $17.99.
Well, and I like when my hacker friends that are like, "Oh no, you just got to get this, and it'll just cut those commercials right out." And I'm like, I have no idea how to do any of that. They're like, just get this program, and this program, and you won't have ads
hold
anymore.
We gotta find. Oh no! Oh, we don't want that. No, that's just too. Okay, I'm trying to find the 4-person one because I heard Ivy pop in. Ivy, 1 second. No, I gotta add another one, Ivy. Hold on, Ivy. Like we're really close. Let me edit this. I'll make it for 4. There she comes. Hold on, Ivy.
You're all by
Let's do
yourself.
this. Huh?
We're
Hold
leaving
on.
you all by yourself.
There you go, precious. Hey, Ivy.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Better if we had money, Ivy.
Yeah, not only am I not tipping you guys, I'm also have premium, so you don't get as much money. I lasted about 2
Yeah.
weeks because I don't do cable, and I almost like solely watched YouTube on my phone, and I just could not handle the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, YouTube makes its money, 30%
Actually,
of
the bigger thing, I think I could handle the ads. The thing I couldn't handle is being able to turn your screen off and have it still play in the background.
I do like that.
Right.
Which is so
Honestly,
stupid to pay for, but it's like the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, for
It
anyone
is.
that doesn't know, and I'm not doing an ad for YouTube Premium, but I did a trial of it once, so I had it for like 2 weeks or whatever, and it was nice because if you're listening to a live, you can like you can like have your phone, like you can have it like on, and then just like turn just close the window off, and it'll still play, so you can still hear it like you're listening
I'm
to a
always
podcast.
multitasking, and that's usually how I end up accidentally hiding people.
Right.
I know. Seeing you apologize where it's like, oops, sorry, accidentally, whatever. But yeah, that you're right, Adam. You guys, that's the one thing that why am I very laggy? That's the one thing that I truly enjoyed about YouTube Premium was I was trying to do other things and it kept, you can't hear it. But if you pay for it, then you can do other things because it would that was driving me crazy. You're right. I forgot about that part of it on there. Okay. Let me just see if I can make this a little bit bigger without. I mean, I can make the thing better, but I'm just trying to make this a little bit bigger. Let's move us over here. We'll just play around with us for a second. There we go. Okay. So you guys, like I said, we're going to get into the documents and then we'll get into the hunger strike thing. And then we're going to get into Westville. And then we're going to read some comments on Indeed that people have left about the Westville Correctional Center. Those ones will be fun. Okay. So go ahead.
Does it have a Yelp page?
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's see here.
Google
Who's
reviews
reading
1 star.
So who's reading the first one here? Is it Charmaine? Flip a coin. Charmaine or Adam? Whoever says it first.
Is that the order? So this one is
Yeah, let me make it bigger. This one right here is the motion to, what was it again? Motion to, oh my God, what's it called again? It's too many. Motion to clarify deadline. Is that the one? Yeah, motion to clarify deadline for Supreme Court type of thing. So we'll get into that, guys.
So this is the order that came out this morning, I believe.
This is the first one. Yeah.
Right. So the realtor filed a petition for writ of mandamus on November 6, 2023, and we issued an order setting a briefing schedule in this matter. On November 9th, 2023, we granted respondents verified motion for extension of time, ordering that response brief and any supplemental records must be filed by November 27th, 2023. The state of Indiana now moves to clarify this deadline. The verified motion indicates that the state, by the Attorney General, is authorized to file a response, but is not a respondent as defined in the rules of procedure for original actions. The state therefore requests clarification on whether the order extending respondent's deadline also extended the deadline for any additional response briefs. Being duly advised, the state's verified motion to clarify deadline for response is granted, and any response brief filed under Rule 3F of the Rules of Procedure for Original Actions must be filed directly with the clerk of the Supreme Court on or before Monday, November 27th, 2023. Done at Indianapolis, Indiana.
What day is U.S. Thanksgiving again?
23rd.
Okay, and then it goes into the long weekend. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Dustin. Adam, which one is the next order of that one? The next
Well,
one.
the one that we should have read before this probably would have been the verified motion to clarify deadline for
Oh, wasn't this the one? This is the first one that came out this morning.
But didn't you guys read this motion to clarify yesterday? I mean, I could be wrong, but
No, these are all from today.
No,
Well,
I saw the stamp. It was like at 1:43 p.m. or something like that. But
Yeah.
he's saying because that's the response to the motion to clarify. So he's saying you should have read the motion to clarify first before you read the
and the
response.
motion to clarify was filed yesterday.
Oh, but well.
And the
I
order
didn't
that
wanna
we
read
read, so
yesterday.
we don't have to read the 4-page one because
Well, bottom line is, I mean, there's really just a bottom line though, is that they got till the November 27th.
absolutely.
You know, like I just didn't feel like reading yesterday's stuff. Some people, get bored with it, and Defense Diaries had it on. Michelle After Dark had it on. Criminality had it on. Stuff like that. Most people that are watching. But bottom line is, November 27th.
It sounds like
Um,
in a nutshell, like for when there's a writ of mandamus filed, if it's for a criminal case, then the attorney general is added on to like the list of the people who get copies of the filing, and they have a opportunity to respond and oppose it. And because they're not a respondent, and that's what the Supreme Court said, we're giving an extension to respondents. They were like, do we count as a respondent, and does that apply to us? Which I did find interesting because they didn't do it to the other one.
Right. But the thing I actually found most interesting about the verified motion to clarify deadline for response by the state of Indiana was that it was written by the AG's office. And the only reason I found that interesting is because, they're not representing Gull themselves. So the fact that they kind of made themselves a party of this and writing that motion, kind of makes me wonder, are they, going to write a motion in support of Judge Gull?
Or against, as per Travis earlier today, he was saying it can go either way and it can go straight down the middle.
Right.
But he thinks
they wrote that. Sorry.
Like he thinks this could actually be more towards the squabble between the judge and the clerk,
Which could be,
yeah.
Wait, what?
So nice to have Travis on here.
What do you mean a squabble between the?
Well, just that, I don't know which order it was, Adam, but the one we all read that it sounded like Judge Gull was kind of throwing the clerk.
I think that's the different case, though. I think that one's for the 302, which is the public access one, and the one that this is on is, I think the other one, isn't it? The 311 or something like that.
So.
Basically, the one for the defense attorney thing.
Yeah. There's like 3 different.
Right.
And they all overlap.
And so it's like, that's why I'm like, is the AG going to get involved? Are they going to write a motion? That's why I said, does this kind of signal that the AG is going to come out and support and write a motion trying to support Gull in the whole dismissal aspect of the writ?
That's what it kind of sounded like to me.
I wish I had Travis here because that's not what he was saying earlier. I'm just trying to go back in my messages and.
Well, I think that was his. I think he agreed about like what was happening, but he disagreed on what he thought was most likely to be in, if they do write one, what will be in it. Because, but now that you say that, that is kind of ringing a bell.
So he said, first you need to split the 2 petitions for writ of mandamus up. So let's go chronologically. The first petition deals with the clerk, sealed documents, removed documents, etc. My takeaway was that Bob and Allie felt that the 1114 order by Gull mooted everything of the issues. Right. So Richard Allen, in essence, won on those issues. I don't know about that, but he
Wow.
discussed some odd thinking and analysis, and also mentioned that there was an amicus by a coalition of media, which I think we're going to get to.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the second petition, the one that addresses the removal of Baldwin Rosie, preventing them from appearing as pro bono counsel. And then it's not nearly as clear on the second petition as the first petition.
And
Yeah.
that's the one that the motion that this was written for was for the second bit, not the first one.
Yeah,
It's
so
all confusing to a lot of people.
yeah,
He might have gotten confused on that too. But I mean, if the case number at the very top of the document is the 311, not the 302.
Yeah. Well, just so that people in chat understand as well. Okay, there's three things going on here. There's the state of Indiana. What is it? Ex a realtor. Is that the ex? REL means real, whatever. Richard M. Allen versus Carroll County Court, ETC, right? Respondent, Francis Gall. But anyways, bottom line is on my case, there's three things going on that have different motions in them. So there's the Richard Allen case, obviously the one for, murder charge. And then there's the state of Indiana, whatever this one is. It's kind of like, this is what 0311. This is 0302. So when we're looking for documents, right? When we're scrolling down here, you got the motion to clarify, and then the order granting motion to clarify that came out of this one, and then it says appearance by Deputy AG, Attorney General, whatever. And then there is this one, which if you scroll down as well, right, the brief of AC, order granting motion to appear as AC. So it gets a little bit confusing in a sense, because at first, that's why yesterday when I didn't have the file, I didn't realize there was another freaking case for the response from Fran Gall. I was like, well, how come I'm not seeing it? Well, it's because there was, oops, sorry guys, and all you have to do is go to Indiana Public Courts and click search cases, type in Richard or Allen Richard M, and then just simply hit search for anyone that doesn't know. Okay, so which is the next one we're pulling up again? Sorry, Adam. Is the motion granting?
it would be the brief for the media coalition, would it not?
The 12-page one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's motion. Okay, where is that one? Oh, it's over here. Okay, I gotta go back over here.
The brief of Emeke or whatever.
Yeah,
friend of the court.
Now, we're not going to be reading 12 pages of this, because this is really the same stuff that, like it's like the same verbiage with, obviously the few changes to it. But let me just go back to that window. Okay.
Here's the thing that that Charmaine was talking about real quick. Well, that she was talking about, Travis said, and he said that he thinks the most likely thing will be that it says the state represented by the AG may have views that are different than goals, and they don't want a precedent set where attorneys who are willing to come in for free, the PD system in Indiana, as a state of Indiana, is on the hook for 40% of the legal fees and the county for 60%. So they may be arguing that removal is wrong and precedent is dangerous from a fiscal standpoint, is what that said.
He actually raised quite a few good points, but
yeah,
I love your attention to detail and your memory. I mean, that's pretty good. I searched everywhere for that part of the conversation.
Right. 4 brains are better than one when it comes to stuff.
In this 12-page brief, I mean, essentially all they're really saying is, this media coalition basically filed this Amica basically saying that they have interest. They have they have interest in this. They have an invested interest in this matter, and that they're also affected by the outcome of this ruling. So my understanding is they're basically asking the Supreme Court to side on the with the realtor, with Richard Allen, on this matter, which involves the first writ, which, like we said, most of it is kind of been deemed moot already, or moot. But they're basically just asking for transparency and everything. So, I mean, that's really the long and short of it.
Yeah, that's our almost lawyer talking.
I have a question. When I was, so I put on, I always get the letters wrong. Is it JLR?
Right.
I started watching his video because your title, and then I got distracted part of the way through. But I did hear him mention something for Idaho and said the media coalition. So is that like used anytime there's like a group of media in the court?
It can be. I mean, Indiana has a what they
Or
call
is that like an organization called that? I thought it was an organization, but I just
Well, I
made
think
that
it's a
assumption.
group, isn't it? Like the
yeah.
group
I think a
of
media coalition is
they're
just any
part of
group
the-
of media people that band together for
Yeah,
a common
it's called-
cause.
Okay.
coalition.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like a specific name of like an organization. So I was
No, because I
wrong.
mean, if you like in the first line of this, it says the Indiana Broadcast Association, the Hoosier State Press Association, American Broadcasting Companies, ABC News, Scripps Company, WRTV, Gannett Satellite, Indianapolis Star, Nexstar Media, TEGNA, WTHR, collectively the Media Coalition.
Those are big companies.
Yeah.
I'm muted. Okay, which was the next one I'm pulling up here?
Well, it would be the order granting the
Order granting motion for leave.
Yes.
Yes. And then a motion, I think, to clarify. Yeah, okay, that one. Okay. Okay, nothing long here.
Yeah.
All right.
Really,
Adam,
you really cannot. You can skip basically everything. I mean, they basically being duly advised. The Media Coalition's motion for leave to appear as amicus curiae is granted, and the clerk is directed to file the amicus curiae brief on this date of this order.
Mhm.
So they're granting, the amicus that the coalition filed. Yeah.
Okay. And then do you want me to bring up the next one quickly?
What was the other one?
That's just the motion to clarify that one. That's this is the last one here. This one says differently. Like this has different wording.
Okay.
I figured that one just said like, yeah, you have till the 27th.
Yeah.
It's really that's all this is really. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an order from the Supreme Court in response to what Adam just went over, I think.
Yeah.
And that's really all. Yeah, those are the four things that came out today.
Yes. So like, I mean, nothing spectacular. Just
No.
It's
funny though, because it's like when you get these documents and then, and I'm so grateful, like because like I don't always see them when they come out. So like then someone like Sonny will send it to me, and then someone else will send me one, and then I'm constantly like, wait, is this the same one? So I'm going back to cross check them all.
right.
And then I'm like, wait, did I get this one? Do I not have this one? So there's,
yeah. Okay. So does anyone have anything to say about these documents? We're just kind of like.
I'm anxious to get to the hunger strike part because I didn't watch JLR's live, so
Yeah, I have no idea what that's
I don't know
about.
what we're talking about.
I don't either.
Hey,
I skimmed it.
I went into a little bit of a Reddit rabbit hole looking for other hunger strikes over the years at Westville, so it's kind of interesting.
Wait, give me 1 sec. It's gonna.
Hey, Art of Production, good to see you.
Mm-hmm. As in the house.
I caught a few minutes of Art of Deductions live earlier today. I only got to watch like 10 minutes of it because I was slammed doing stuff, but maybe I'll go back and watch the rest of it later tonight.
Yeah, I think I caught about. Well, actually, I didn't even know it was on until I think Ivy.
I didn't either. Someone sent it to me.
And so yeah, and then I think I caught about an hour of it, and then I heard my name off of his lips. How many times? Sunny, 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 Sunny.
Usually when your
Yeah, I
name
feel
comes
like-
on my lips, it's like Sunny.
I was just like, oh shit. No, I don't care. To be honest with you, I wanted to just kind of, briefly go through these guys because it's really just simple, boring stuff, really, to me. We want to get to like the goods. We want to get to the 27th is what we want to get to.
Okay. You mean the groundswell?
Yeah. On there. So, okay. The hunger strike thing. We'll talk about that. So I just happened to come off of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was our deductions channel there. And then all of a sudden, like JLR. Now, JLR is somebody that I hate to love, love to hate in a sense. But today really impressed me with JLR. And the reason why is because for me personally, I just don't like fakes and frauds and cons and shit like that. Anyone that knows this channel, all my life, I detested that. I know that we all tell white lies and shit like that. That's fine. But I really can't stand it when people just face lie to you and just, they're full of crap and whatever. It does piss me off. And it's just kind of like, so that's who I like for friends and stuff like that. Not that you always have to tell me the truth, but just don't sit there and bold-faced lie. Just say that you can't say or something like that, whatever. So with JLR, I knew that he had spent 10 years in prison. We knew about the 1,000 something. What is it again? What record did he break? The Guinness Book of World Records for the most lawsuits that he did in while he was in prison. And plus the Sandy Hook pretending he was the nephew. I mean, I could go on and on. Now, what impressed me today about JLR, so the title was Hunger Strike Coburger. And then I was like, okay, let me humor myself and I'll watch this. And so I started watching it and I was really impressed with JLR because he was talking about his whole situation, in prison. And not everyone needs to give you every detail about their life. Oh, yeah, Sunny one's a two. Travis. Pretty much Charmaine was begging for you.
Sunny, did Sunny just say that not everyone has to give every detail about their life?
Yeah. But Travis, if there's anything that you want to say to those documents in the chat, absolutely feel free. We kind of stammered just a little bit, but our almost lawyer here, and these two fine ladies, because for me, I'm just like, yeah, you guys can take care of that stuff. Thank you. Those things.
I tried to go back into your responses to my questions earlier today, Travis, and I think between Ivy and I think we might have got them mixed up a little bit, but thank you so much for being so quick at answering my questions earlier today. It helped the group out.
Yes. I think every state has a farm bureau.
I think so.
So where Richard Allen said he was farm bureau on there. But so yeah, so if there's anything that you want to clarify with those documents that we didn't say or we badly said, feel free to say that. And if anyone maybe has a question that they need to ask Travis, he's always been very helpful for helping people out to understand it a little bit better. Anyways, so going back to the hunger strike, so JLR. So the reason why I ended up watching, like, I think it was a good 90% of it, I want to say, I don't know, was because he was legitly talking about his time in the prison system, which was for 10 years, and how he was bounced around. And basically he said he was like 23. So he was doing bank fraud. Okay. So anyone can Google it and listen to the article, but they said it was, so it was to do with bank fraud and stuff like that.
Was that a state prison or a federal prison then?
Federal.
Okay.
Federal. But during the whole live, and I don't want to give it all away because honestly, I would suggest you guys go listen to it yourself, in a sense, because it made me gain like more respect for JLR, for him just being truthful and honest about who, his past and stuff like that. Not that he has to justify it to you or me or anyone, but I'm talking about my own personal thing. anyone that hurts anyone, does things to hurt people, so, I just usually wipe you out of my life. Feel like you never existed so fast, okay? Because I only like caring, kind, great people that make this world a better place to live in. But anyway, so I had a hard time adjusting, knowing that I knew the information about his background. And then watching all these people go, "You're so great. You're so awesome, JLR. Like you did, and I was, oh my God, puke, 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 gag. But he's been talking more about his life and his past. And so for me personally, I respect the fact that was talking about his tenure in prison. But one of the things he was talking about was that he asked the people in the chat, how long do they think that he went without eating food for on his hunger strike? People are guessing like 5 days, 10 days, and he's just like up, 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 up. And so he's like, says that at 21 days, they start tubing you up the nose and down the throat with Ensure. He said the reason for him doing this was because he wanted certain things. He wanted more minutes with his family. He wanted better food, I think it was. Anyways, he had some conditions because obviously it's a very costly thing. He was saying that when you have to have, this person, that's putting the tube into you and this person, that it's very costly twice a day that they have to feed him through a tube. 97 days. 97 days, he said he went.
Crazy.
Yep. And because he's like, well, when you want something, right, you have to do your, convictions. You have to do it. And I can see GLR being like that. I mean, look, he was standing behind frickin' Hillary Clinton pretending he was Jewish and shit. Like, the guy has done things that it's almost comical, to be honest, in a lot of ways. Because how do you even get sitting beside her pretending you're Jewish? And he's like, it's almost like bumping noses with Bill Clinton and stuff like that. And you're pretending you're Jewish.
I'm blanking on his name at the moment, but there's I can't remember if he's a senator or a representative, but a congressman in the U.S. right now who's going through this whole thing that he's lied about like everything.
George
like
Santos.
Schooling. Oh. What's his name?
Yeah.
George Santos.
Yes. Yeah. Literally everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Is that the one where he was pretending to be another lawyer from another? Is that the one where he was pretending to be a lawyer?
I don't know.
No, you're saying a senator, I think.
George, he was Santos. Like but yeah. I don't know what all he lied about, but it was not just one thing. It was like his entire life, his entire like background.
Oh, well, but that's what's so amazing, right? Like, it's just, what people can, in a sense, get away with. And it's almost like a game. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because JLR has talked about different things, so I have no problem, repeating some of the stuff that he said. It's like a game that he likes, right? It's almost like a challenge. So in my head, how I had it was, okay, here we go. It's a challenge. All these people are falling for you left, right, and center. Oh, but that there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm just like, this guy's good. This guy's real good. He's slick in a good way. Like he does it. He has what I call like that Midas touch. But the thing is, what you put out to the universe, right? So meaning I was hoping that his intentions were genuine about becoming a better person. I mean, obviously he can make money off of YouTube, and it is. I don't want to talk about Greeno, but meaning Greeno has the qualities that he could have really done well with his ability to make videos and
that's something that makes him so frustrating, because it's like you have so much natural talent for it.
Right. So use it for a good way, right? So I was just hoping that JLR was doing that. So for me, I kind of gained more respect for him today, even, and on the fact that he has let people use his videos, because he's talking about, like, he doesn't really care if he gets trolls in his live, and he doesn't really care if people use his videos. So I kind of, and that was from the Cavalcante case. So anyways, listening to him talk about his life and opening up and, type of thing, because it makes people, when you're genuine, about yourself in a sense, you don't have to give up everything, but people can connect with you more. Everyone makes mistakes and does certain things. And then there's learning from your mistakes or not learning from your mistakes. But anyways, so during that live, he said, this is what Richard Allen should be doing. I don't know why Richard Allen isn't doing this. So basically he said after the 97 days that the warden came into his room. 8. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Sorry, I just got looking at a message, but I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Could you spell it out for me?
I'm wondering if you haven't been hacked.
Why?
8:50 p.m.
8:50.
Well, I guess it would be what, 7:50 your time.
Okay. Okay. 1 second.
Do you see that?
Yeah, that's just Anthony Greeno coming in. Like that just means he's subscribed. Probably heard his name and was like, "Ooh." Is pretty much what happened. You know how someone's ears are burning? Anyways, so bottom line is, so after the 97 days, the warden came in and basically said, look, what is it you want? And he said, I want to be in a better place, because he said he was scared shitless. And he said the first thing that somebody came up to him was like an Aryan nation or something like that. And he was saying how like it was basically a hellhole. And then he was talking about the different ones that he had gone to. And I'm sure there was 5. And for some reason, I can't think of the name of the final one that he ended up at, but it was like Burnview or Burn, like something like that. And so he was talking about that. So the warden said, like, kind of like, here's a cheeseburger. What can I do? Because it was costing them so much money, right? And that's when he kind of gave his conditions. And then the warden's like, if I can make that happen, will you start eating again? I'll keep my promise. So that's where he ended up being, was at that nicer place, which was more of a laid back prison because of the hunger strike. So he wanted things and he knows it's costing money. So JLR had said, I don't understand why the lawyers for Richard Allen aren't telling him to go on a hunger strike so that he can get out of Westville.
How common is it though? And like that would they put the feeding tube like down your throat and they don't give you a sedative? Like that would take a lot of willpower.
Absolutely. JLR has that. You can tell. So you have to have that mindset. And JLR was focused on what he wanted from what he was saying. And he was determined to, keep going as long as it took, because he said it became like more like personal, right? Like, once you start something, it's like,
he they're not going to beat me.
No, exactly. It became a game, he said, they were expecting whatever. And he's like, nope. And he said he went 97 days. Anyways, he ended up, he said that there was a worse place than where he was there. And I can't think of all the names. Maybe if I was from the States, I would remember them more so. But the last one started with B. And I can't even remember the state that it was in. But it was like the cat's ass of prisons in a sense. But anyways, so that's why on there I said, is JLR right? Because, I mean, if Richard Allen did the same thing, right? Your typical things kick in. Like your typical procedures will kick in, and they don't want to sit there and keep paying for someone and sit there and have to feed them and whatever. And like I said, then the procedures kick in, and then it's like, okay, what do you want from us? Well, I want out of here. So I'm just going by off because I've never been in a prison system. I have no freaking clue. So listening to JLR talk about it and saying that, it made sense. Like what he did, he got his way, did he not? So if the lawyers are feeling so badly for Westville that he's in Westville, that he should be out there and, he's getting treated like da-da-da-da-da, well, perhaps go on a hunger strike and get your way. So my thoughts to you guys. And so when he said that, I was like, it's not like he's wrong. I mean, he did it and he got his way. So
mean, he's not
And
wrong, but if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it.
well, no, it's not that easy though. But that's the thing. It's not that easy. He went 97 days, Ivy.
Yeah,
And,
I don't know.
and after 21 days is when they start putting Ensure down your throat. That's what he was saying. So anyways, if you haven't watched it, I recommend that you do watch it. I just really liked that he was opening up, talking about his time there, and he was associating that. I don't know why he put up Brian Koberger hunger strike, because I didn't see anything in the news about Brian Koberger, or if he was just trying, I think he was just trying to associate that with what he did and something that Brian Koberger could do. And then he ended up having to bring in Richard Allen's name to it as well. And I just thought to myself, I mean, it just depends how determined somebody is, because the cost versus the trouble sometimes ain't worth it. And that's why JLR said the warden came to him at the 97 days with a burger and basically, what do you want? And he said, I want 6 hard-boiled eggs, some grits, some toast, and whatever else it was, he said,
I think if it was Kohlberger or Richard Allen or anybody like that, if he went on a hunger strike and ended up getting his demands met, I think that would hit a little bit differently. Like you're negotiating with somebody who's murdered other people's children. Do you know what I mean? It's, to me, I don't know.
He's
To me,
still innocent.
yeah. But
I know.
Really, see, I've never had like major, well, I know that's not major. I've had very little medical things done, so the thought of that is probably way worse to me than it actually is.
He said that, were you talking about the tubes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that the tube going down his throat was worse than the actual starving himself, basically, hunger strike. And I'm like, but again, it just depends on this, right? And he said he might have been a little bit, his mental state might not have been whatever, but it was like a game, like, I've been doing it this long, I'm going to keep going. 97 days, you guys, that's over 3 months of after 21 days getting the tubies and Ensure, Anyways, so that was my thing, like, meaning Richard Allen could do it. And because JLR kind of said that, and he's spent time in prison and stuff, because he said that, I thought I would like say it to you guys. Do you guys think that, like, is JLR right? Because according to, like I said, the lawyers, he's in the most, horrific place, getting treated horrifically. I don't believe as bad, definitely, as they say, but we all know that, this is a high profile case, but we know that shit happens in prisons as well.
Right.
So I'm just going to ask you guys your thoughts on that. Do you think it's an option that if he had the ability to do that just to get out of there?
Maybe if you swap out like cheeseburger with phone book. Kidding.
I don't know. Just give me your thoughts. Let me chew on a little bit of pizza that my husband brought me for a minute while you guys say your thoughts for a second. Then I'll speak at once.
Was Greeno in Westville?
No, I don't believe so.
So.
But Derek German was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where he served his time in
I guess
prison.
I just pictured him in county. The other thing about that is you also don't know I don't know. So I'm trying to get my thoughts out. So on one hand, I know I've heard stereotypes about federal prisons. You always hear like the phrase club fed, like they're easier. But then at the same time, I've also heard from, what channel is that? He like was a jewelry heist guy. He has a channel, it's really good, and he talks about his time in there, and he said it's not as nice as that. There are some nice ones, but like there's also some hard ones too. He also said that the federal system was notorious for bouncing you around when you caused problems and losing your paperwork, so things would take longer. So there could also be repercussions if he didn't make it to that goal, and now he's getting treated worse and he's hungry and not getting any food. So there's always like that side of it too. You may not win.
I don't really have an opinion on it. I mean, if somebody chooses to to go on a hunger strike to, I guess, get things that they feel that they're lacking after committing a crime that's going to land them in a federal penitentiary, I don't have a lot of sympathy. Different story with, I guess, Brian Kohlberger and Richard Allen, innocent until proven guilty. Brian Kohlberger is not in a federal penitentiary. He is in a county jail. But as for Richard Allen, I mean, I don't know. What could he go on a hunger strike for? What would his demands be? Give me my lawyers back?
Yeah, or like, get put in county. I think there are some arguments for both sides on that one. I think there's arguments that in some ways prison is better, and in some ways county is better.
Well, they say that, and I mean, I'm speaking for Canadian prison systems. I know that when you get sent to a federal prison to do your time, which is anything over, I believe, 18 months, 18 plus a day months, you get sent to a federal prison.
Well, no,
They have more programs and
it can be a state prison.
like that.
It
Yeah.
can be a federal or a state prison. It doesn't have to be federal.
For what was the beginning of that? I missed the beginning of.
Sorry.
How do you
Well,
get there?
They get more, like, they have more programs and stuff in prison than they do in what we call remand centers.
Yeah,
So,
but okay.
to
So are you
make it
saying
better, they have more options so that they're not just sitting in their cell. They can go to school, they can take college courses, they can, volunteer, get a job, whatever. Whereas you're just kind of a sitting duck waiting for the next step.
I wonder if he's because he's not been convicted. I wonder if he's eligible for all of that.
I doubt it. Richard Allen,
Yeah,
I think they're holding him in segregation, aren't they?
yeah, which is I mean, I'll be the first to admit I tend to be a bleeding heart type person, and I think we need one thing that kind of annoys me is that, and I guess I'm making generalizations here. A lot of people are really upset about him being in prison, like very upset, like it's a huge difference between jail, when really I don't think it's that big of a difference. But those same people, a lot of them don't, like when you talk about like prison reform and things like that, they're like, just lock them up and let them die type people. So it's frustrating to hear the same people be so upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think solitary shouldn't be.
I know. Honestly, I don't know what difference it would make for somebody like Richard Allen where he is. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's considered inside prison. They don't think that innocent until proven guilty. He's considered a child killer. He's going to be treated as such, which is not good. Right? And it doesn't matter if he's in federal or state or county.
Right. But if you remember when the sheriff of Cass County talked about what his conditions would be like if he were in the county jail, he said he would be in a smaller cell. They didn't have the psychiatric capability to adhere to what he had in Westville. I mean, there were other things. I'd have to go back to the June hearing that he said all those things in. Yeah. But that whole argument about moving him, to me, I mean, you have multiple. I get that. I get the argument. Trust me, I do. I'm not cold-hearted, but when you have like these people that would be then responsible for housing him, saying we can't do anything different or better than he's got right now, like it to me nullifies part of that argument. Whether or not he should be in prison is probably a question for the court system to answer on a broader spectrum than just Richard Allen. He's probably needs to be addressed, and maybe he'll be a case study for that. I don't know. But I mean, I remember the sheriff of Cass County talked about it. He said he'd be in a smaller cell. He wouldn't have the resources he has in Westville. He wouldn't have the psychiatric help. He wouldn't have a lot of the things that he has at his disposal in Westville.
And isn't he being held there under a safekeeping order?
Right.
So it's for his own personal safety, and I agree with everything you said. But again, like I said, he's as safe there as he's going to be anywhere.
Right.
If that's the issue.
Well, I mean, that's not that I disagree with you, but that's like the physical safety part. And then you have, not saying that this is the case at all, just like in theory, you have a keeping you physically safe versus like your mental health is going down so quickly that you have to kind of like weigh them. Again, not saying
Right.
that's what's happening. But my other question is, outside of like the psychiatric treatment thing, isn't there a place like where Kagan Klein is, where it's like a, I don't know what they call it. I think that one's like a pod for typically sex offenders, but then that's also where Noe was, because he, I don't want to say he had gang ties if that's not true, but there was something about it where like he couldn't be around certain people because it would always end up in fights, so they moved him there instead. So like those do exist. So I
Right.
kind of wonder about that, but then you have like the psychiatric thing. I don't know how that works.
And you know, it's not, and like I said, you know, I know that people say this is unheard of. I have a friend who's a psychiatrist, and she works in New York, and her job is, well, her job was, she doesn't work for them anymore, but her job was that she was a psychiatrist for on Rikers Island, which Rikers Island is a notoriously harsh prison in the state of New York, and Rikers Island is routinely used to place people awaiting trial, sometimes for 3 or 4 years.
See, I think that's more of an ethical issue than between prison and jail. Way more
Right.
ethical. Like
And
that's
then
a
I think it needs to be addressed on a broader spectrum than just Richard Allen.
yes, agreed.
And you know, so like when we talk about like when I talk about like, you know, like the specific case of Richard Allen, you know, when I hear the sheriff of Cass County and, you know, Carroll County saying they don't want him, and that, you know, he's being kept there in a safekeeping order, like Charmaine said, I haven't seen any evidence to show that he would be safer at another facility. But to act like this is something that's unheard of, I think doesn't make sense either. Because I mean, like I
I think
said,
it's in the
anyone
state
could
of Indiana, but
look
maybe not other states.
right.
Or doing it specifically for, I don't know, like the Odinism and making sure he's being watched by the proper people or whatever. It's ludicrous, really.
And I don't think he should be being tased. I don't think anybody should be being like tased for minor infractions or treated like a lot of people are treated. But he's not, in my opinion, he's not being treated differently. I don't
That's
agree
what
with the way he's
Andrew
being treated, but it's like it's a systemic issue, not a Richard Allen issue.
Right, right. Say that louder.
Say it loud. Go ahead, say it louder. Say it louder,
It's a
Ivy.
systemic issue, not a Richard Allen issue. And if everybody cares about Richard Allen, I want you to go out there and fight for prison reform.
You know, absolutely. So let me get into this article quickly where it says hunger strike at Westville Correctional Facility. And then we're going to go to the Indeed and see what people have said about Westville Correctional Center. But I always want to remind people, okay, I was the general manager and I worked with all the reviews, and I was the resident manager and worked with the reviews. Typically, when you run a big towering apartment place or a hotel, especially for apartments, most of them are going to hit like 1 star, 2 star, because only the gripers usually go on. So always keep the balance in your head of knowing that, not to say that when we get to the reviews that it's so wrong, but there's always got to be that balance that somewhere in the middle lies the truth of certain things, even though you know that shit happens in prisons for sure. With Richard Allen, I've always felt that he's in the best place for what he needs, you know, myself, but that's just my personal opinion about it. So I'm just going to read this really quick, guys. And I know it's small, but it's not going to be too long here. It just says hunger strike at Westville Correctional Facility. Description. And it says resistant flares up in the IDOC again. We've received, I should probably say this was in 2018. I believe it was. We received the word that a hunger strike has begun at Westville Correctional Center in Westville, Indiana. The demands of these inmates are much the same as the recently concluded and severely repressed hunger strike at Wabash Valley. Insufficient and inedible meals, freezing cold temperatures, lack of access to commissary, etc. Details of the strike are still coming in, but all the accounts are that it's ongoing, meaning that the inmates need to eat immediate and consistent outside support. And let's see here. Let's see, what does this say? Comments. Let's just see what this one says. I sent this email to the email address in the Zap, but the email bounced back. Here's the message I sent. I left a message on the warden's line. When I reached commissioner's office, I was routed to the chief communications officer. He said issue was Wabash, not Westville, where there is nothing going on. Wabash was 2 weeks ago and lasted 24 hours. That is, I was being misinformed, said he was sorry, and I was misled and therefore wasting my time and reputation by calling. He said at Wabash, at no time did they alter the temperature or did the guards attack, harass prisoners. I asked about food quality, which is a common issue. He said they meet ACA and federal government standards for quality, calories, nutrition. Food is fine, even if they don't care for the taste, and prisoners can supplement out of canteen. Thought you should know how they are responding to calls onward, etc. Okay, so then this one says what? I got a call from Dave Leonard, the administrative assistant, and to the warden who deals with grievances. For the first time in all the phone zaps that I have even gotten a call back, he talked my ear off about how many services they are providing to inmates. Was sure I was mistaken about anyone being on hunger strike, yada yada yada. I mean, I'm probably gonna somewhat agree with this person. You know that the food is gonna be shit, and they gotta make it in bulk like they do.
And I don't even think it's just the taste. I think I've always heard stories about like some of the meats and stuff being labeled like not for human consumption.
Yeah, I can see
And
this.
seen
Like, I
pictures
mean,
of that. Like it's ugh.
like we're not here to believe that everything's all fine and rosy and daisy and stuff like that. Okay, Charmaine. So I want to share screen. Let's go over to the Indeed. Where's my Indeed? Case right here, I think it is. Yeah. Okay, and let me just take down this comment here. Just so it's there we go. Okay, so let's see. Working at Indiana Department of Corrections in Westville, an employees review. Okay. So first person says 3.0. Buildings are falling apart, thus little no AC. Horrible for staff and offenders. At Westville, management is always in a hurry and rarely able to assist unless an emergency. 1.0. Laziness, stressful, and toxic. What is the best part at working at the company? Very corrupt place to work at. What is the most stressful part about working? Now, these are the employees, of course. I don't know if they're disgruntled ones or whatever, but there's got to be truth in there
I
somewhere.
believe them. I think it's like that most places.
I think so
Most
too.
prisons.
1 sec, Adam. I'll look at that in a sec. What is the most stressful part of?
It's just
Sorry, Adam?
just the thing that showed that when Derek German was in Westville.
Oh, was Derek German in Westville?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Huh. Let me see that for a second. Oh, I see. What does it say?
Because
I
thought about that, as far as like how, would a father feel knowing this person's, been arrested for killing his daughter, and yet he's also spent time in the facility that this person's being held in that is claiming that, the conditions are what they are. So I'm sure that is a moral conundrum for him.
Judge Diner was the judicial, the guy that pushed the case off of himself because of the bloodlust.
Which hey, we are now witnessing.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the most stressful part about working at the company? The corrupt employees and the favoritism, the laziness and the carelessness from other staff members. So the question is, what is the work environment and culture like at the company? The environment is hostile and toxic. It's like being in high school all over again. What is a typical day like for you at the company? Stressful on most days, depends on who your sergeants and lieutenants are for the day. We're just going to read a few of these guys just to get a grasp here. So 1.0, you guys all know Indeed, and that it's like based out of 5. So just you guys can see the numbers there. I guess 1.0222 going down. So don't care. They don't do much when you hire someone. You could walk in and have the job. Most facilities are corrupt and do not care for the safety and well-being of the officers or the inmates. There's a lot of abuse of power, or not enough where inmates think that they are in control. It's a very dangerous place to work, that person says. The next one says, not the greatest. I would only recommend if you absolutely need a job. You are also able to advance quickly if that's what you want to do. The state is not trying to pay its workers. Pros, no layoffs. Cons, horrible schedule and low pay for what you do. Now, this person says safety and well-being not a priority. 2.0. When I started in 2018, the department wasn't all that bad. Of course, over time, this progressively got worse. The majority of the supervisors cannot be trusted and do not support their staff, and in some cases look for any way to undermine and discipline their subordinates. Mental health of department staff should be a priority, and towards the end, it became clear that this was not. As a supervisor told a staff member who was in crisis that they didn't care and told them to simply keep quiet and do their job. The final straw was when a staff member was in danger of being harmed by inmates and the supervision refused to assist the officer, again telling them to simply keep quiet and do their job or quit and go home. This department is a joke nowadays. Some of the people I worked with were good people. Unless they became supervisors, then they changed for the worst. Safety is a large concern now as higher security inmates are being housed in lower security facilities who do not have the means nor the staff to properly handle the high security inmates. The other major concern in regard to safety are the interpersonal conflicts between staff, leading you to a question who would back you up when you need it and would leave you out to dry. Pros, sense of camaraderie among some staff, decent pay after first year of employment, and good benefits, opportunities for advancement. Cons, corruption, administration, lack of caring, supervision, favoritism in promotions and disciplinary process, policies not enforced equally across the board. This one is a 3. That's the highest so far. Corrections is an environment in which the population served desperately needs help with counseling and other services. However, the other staff in management and support positions seem to be overly wrapped up in trivial matters such as gossip rather than assisting new employees. Pros, unique environment, pay is the lowest in the field of mental health. We'll just do got a few more. An example. I mean, you guys can go to this yourself if you have your Indeed account. 1.0, 12 hours of work and a lot of danger. My first day on the job was a major drug bust, and they found over 579 shanks and other sharp objects, and I was scared. Awful. Would not recommend. Staff is 10 times harder to deal with than inmates. Teamwork does not exist. Be prepared for a dog-eat-dog world. Best part of the deal is to check your overtime is always available due to extremely high turnover rates. Terrible. It is extremely racial biased and misogynistic. There's no job security and there's no repercussions for captains physically slamming an officer to the ground for no apparent reason. I'll read one more. I'll just read this one. The Westville Correctional Facility has been designated by the federal government as a candidate for demolition. Yeah, like because they're going to be doing building a new one. Remember that article I sent you from August of 2023? It is literally falling apart and cramped. This facility is unsafe. Nasty turnovers of employees is over 70%. Inept management runs rampant throughout due to the low wages and antiquated working conditions. I completed my 10 years and literally resigned on my anniversary date. I will be back at this experience as a horrid nightmare. My advice to the young people is if you desire, okay, you know what? I think that's good enough. I think we can safely say that I would not want to work here. I'm sorry, but I've done enough reviews that if I have to read that many in a row that are slamming them, that it's probably not a good place to work for. And I would hate it. That's my feeling. And I don't know. What do you guys think about those comments? That's
there
based on the stats.
comments?
Sorry.
Are there any positive comments at all?
Well, let's see if we can find one.
I think
Oh,
that
there is a.
you said that 3-star one was the highest.
Well, there's a 4-1 right here.
And there's always HR people in there putting at least one good fake one. You can always tell
Oh,
that
you can guarantee. Let me.
Are you muted, Adam Aspen?
He's muted.
You-
Yeah, he doesn't know it.
It's so funny when you can always tell when it's like an HR person or if it's a disgruntled ex-employee that writes the really, really bad ones,
Mhm.
and then they make up other fake profiles and they make and write other ones. But
Because they always put the same things. But HR,
let's
especially
be
if you
honest,
work there, you can always
and
tell HR.
most jobs that have low pay typically have poor, reviews on Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, for me, my own personal intake on this is because like I said, I spent years doing this stuff with reviews. And I did post when I had a bad experience with a company I worked for. They were what a bunch of freaking liars and con artists. And I'm being truthful. And guess me and my husband get let go because we're being the honest people, Anyways, I would deem this myself based on what I'm reading is that yes, just like reviews, usually hotels pat themselves on the back, put themselves good. That's kind of a given that the odd ones in there will be like, hey, can you put a good review? But for me, the gist of this is that it's a shitty place to work. And I'm sure that there's a lot more shit that goes on. It's not roses for sure. So I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't really know how Richard Allen is being treated. Because I've never been in the system, I'm going to think that they're trying to do the right thing for him, by having the mental health issue unit and stuff like that. But I can't sit there and say that if I knew, I can only go by comments like this and stuff
Do you
like
think
that.
he's being treated differently, though?
I don't think he's been treated differently.
I mean, the warden said he's been treated better.
Well, I don't necessarily believe the warden's word.
Well, and I'm just stating what was said.
Considering he's Mr.
And
Warden.
it's not just Indeed. You can go back, honestly, decades with this facility, and there's articles for all different kinds of abuse and complaints against the guards. So,
I don't believe the Odinism thing.
No, but you also have to keep in mind that from a liability standpoint, their job is yes, the mental health, all of that matters, but he's in a protective, he's in a safekeeping order, which means it's their responsibility to keep him alive. And if they were to transfer him to a facility that did not have the resources by their own account to provide some of the services he is getting currently, and something were to happen to him, that would be a legal nightmare for the state of Indiana. So
I
you
agree.
also have to keep that in mind.
It's just weird. It's the only one.
It might not
be
be
the case with other people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But it might morally this is one of those things where it's like morally you might have there might be something that says this should be the answer, but we're in the legal system, so you have to abide by both. And the Indiana Department of Corrections is abiding by the order they were given, and that's to keep Richard Allen alive.
That's true. I mean, that's true for the people. And Jay Turner says, if you think a man accused of a crime against children is getting anything other than what we know goddamn well happens to those people, you're not being honest. That's not what I agree with that. I'm saying, is he being treated differently? And even based on your comment, no, that's how those people get treated. And that is an issue, but I don't know what the solution is. My question about what Adam just said is, why is it that Richard Allen, I understand it's a giant case, but have there not been any other high profile? What about what was the girl on the bike and I don't want to say with the part that I remember about that case, Tinsley.
Oh.
What about her killer? That was a big case. So
didn't he just get caught a couple of years ago?
What is it about Richard Allen?
I think this is the highest profile case that we've seen in Indiana in decades. And who does? I agree. If he dies, if he dies under their watch at the prison, they will be held accountable. Trust me. You know, if you think there's public outcry right now for what's happening with Richard Allen, can you imagine what it would be like if something were to happen to him? To me, that's even more of a reason to know that he's being kept safe where he is. That's my opinion. And I respect other people's opinions that differ from mine.
Can someone in Indiana just go set up a visitation? Is he allowed visitors?
You can do that online. You don't have to be in India. Well, I don't know about if you can be in Canada, but wife Lilith has done it. You can talk to anybody you want.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lake
John D.
Michigan.
Miller, thank you.
Thank you, Lake Michigan. Hey, Lake Michigan.
Thank you. What did Lake Michigan say?
It was
Just-
John D. Miller is who
Oh,
killed
John D. Miller.
April Tinsley. If I'm assuming Indiana is fairly similar to Oklahoma, and my stepmother is a teacher, or not anymore. She retired as a prison teacher a couple years ago, but before that, she had like 20 years of. She retired from there, and towards the end, they're paid so little. I think I just looked up on pay scale that the average Indiana correctional officer gets paid, say, on average $17 an hour. That's getting close to the poverty line. So
Wow.
when you mix that, then they have like these, I guess I'll call them temptations, that maybe gangs or whatever will pay them money so they can be comfortably buy stuff for their families and whatnot. If they'll, it starts with just get me a pack of cigarettes or whatever, and then
Right.
it can turn into something else. So then that's a problem. But then for my stepmom, nobody wanted to work there because it was so dangerous and there wasn't enough staff, that as a teacher, they tried to tell her that she was going to have to fill in for correctional officers. And she was like, absolutely not. But that's like how bad it is there. And I have a feeling it's very similar.
Right.
So it's a whole thing. But like I said, that's a systemic issue, not a Richard Allen issue, unfortunately.
I agree.
A few years ago, an article.
I'm not naive.
From the article, did you read the article that I sent you, Sonny, about that one guard from Westville?
Was that the urgent one? No. Which one?
Well, she was bringing weed in Cheetos bags, spicy Cheetos bags for an inmate. They had been texting back and forth.
Flaming
Okay,
hot.
I think you're talking about this article here. Is that the one?
No, that's that. I mean, the one, but the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, are you talking about during? Because you sent me 3. Are you talking about the one during the COVID time?
Yeah, it was like I'm pretty sure it was 2020, and it was a female guard, but she had been texting with this inmate back and forth, and she started bringing him contraband in flaming hot Cheeto bags, and now she's actually serving, I think, a 4-year sentence for doing it.
Right. And can I clarify really quickly for anyone just coming into the chat? No, no one's saying that Richard Allen is on a hunger strike or is refusing to eat. Sonny had made the title of this video because it was in relation to something JLR had suggested on a video about what happens when someone goes on a hunger strike and what that would look like if Richard Allen were to go on a hunger strike. But no, no one's alleging that Richard Allen is refusing to eat.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're watching the live from this point on, you guys should go watch JLR's live that he is talking about. Gee, I think I just froze there for that. Anyways, I would go watch it. So he basically talks about his hunger strike and says why at some point he's basically saying, like, I don't know why Richard Allen's lawyers aren't doing, like, saying that he do this and whatever. So anyways, the video that JLR did was a good watch. I enjoyed it because I've never been in a prison system, let alone I've never been arrested, let alone any of that stuff. So that stuff interests me. I remember, like I said, you guys, there was this guy, and I can't think of his name because my husband started watching him, and I think he was about 50K subscribers when my husband told me about him, and he would be telling his life about what it was like in jail, and he has over like 1 million subscribers.
I wonder if it's the same guy I was talking about. If it is, his channel is great.
Yeah, he's just to tell it like it is person. Right?
Is he bald?
Yeah. Hmm.
I think we're talking about. He's like the biggest jewel thief in like the U.S.
Yes,
history or
that's
something.
him.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
him.
Why can't I think of his name ever?
I'm gonna
Anyways,
find him.
so I just like people like that talk like so JLR did that in his video, but the reason why it was titled that because he had said, about the hunger strike of that he went on, and what he doesn't understand why if his lawyers want him to be moved from Westville, why doesn't he do this himself if it's so bad in a sense and he wants, conditions because of the cost associated. But it's a very good listen to. I love it when people open up like that if they've done something wrong in their life and they just talk about it and they're truthful, but they don't have to tell you everything, obviously. And that's why I enjoyed watching whatever his name was, the jewel thief guy. I always forget the name, but anyways,
It's Larry Lawton. I'm gonna put
Larry
the link in the
Lawton.
chat.
Larry Lawton, that's it. Larry Lawton. Um, and so yeah, so I find that stuff intriguing because I have no idea, and that's why I miss Blaine so much because Blaine would tell us about the gangs and the runes and different things, and it's stuff that I'm clueless about besides reading it. But it's so much nicer when people are like have physically like been there, been in the prison system, are able to talk about what goes on and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed his live, just the opening up about his life, and hence talking about Richard Allen. That's why the title of Is JLR Right? Hunger Strike. Is it something that if he's in such a bad condition, should he consider doing? Now, with that being said, Charmaine, did you want me to pull up that article?
No, not at all. I
Okay.
sent them to you, asked me to kind of look into it, and that's just what I found. And those are just
I
few
looked
of
at it.
many that I found.
I was gonna say, I mean, I looked at it briefly, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't have time to read it all. I just tried to get a half an hour nap in. I got 15 minutes. Well, no, I think I got 20 minutes in. Just because you guys, sorry, I just have a bit of the flu for sure. And then I just colitis as well. So today it was just kicking in extra strong.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of pain today. Don't feel sorry for me. I don't need to hear. Oh, sorry, Sandy. It's okay. All good. It's a lot better right now, but I know that my husband gave me his flu stuff because I'm still feeling hot, and hence why I didn't do the live the other day. The brain space wasn't allowing me to even try that. Now I just wanted to go, if I could. I think it was back to here. So this says about the West Correctional Facility, okay? And this is Warden John Gallipo. And you guys can just Google him if you want to find out anything more about, him, because he has definitely a few not so good issues himself going on. But it says like, you know what I mean? Like if this guy's breaking rules, how do you honestly think this place is running? Like as for the Odin patches, I mean, clearly they were on. Should they have even remotely been on the Odin patches? Hey,
And I'm
Frank, how
still
are you?
not. I think there's like a good chance that they were the Odin ones, but it still hasn't been confirmed that those were the ones, to my knowledge, even though everybody keeps saying it is.
Right.
Those, and when I hope I'm saying this accurately, I'm like 95% sure when I was looking back at those affidavits from the guards and then what the defense said, that they actually only, those two patches that they described, wasn't one on one guard and one on the other. It was only on one guard that they say both of those patches were on, and it was Jones. And then Robinson was the one that they're both Norse pagans, I believe. I'm almost positive about that. But Robinson's the one that I would bet money is not an Odinist based on his Facebook.
He has a BLM post
Yeah.
on Facebook.
So there's no way. I don't know about Jones because he doesn't post stuff like personal stuff really.
Right.
But Robinson, like, there's no way he's an Odinist.
As soon as I looked at Robinson's Facebook and I went back and I was like, this guy isn't. I was like, this guy's probably liberal.
He's like a for real libertarian, not like a new kind, but like with all the BLM stuff, he's like, why are you burning down private businesses? Burn down the government buildings
that I work for.
Yes.
Okay.
And people were talking about I think Charmaine may have said this actually at one point about the timing of the patches. Robinson, in his affidavit, said that he started wearing his patch the day he started work at Westville, like his first day there. So
Right.
Wasn't that February? I can't remember. I went back and I did the date math, which I suck at, but it was
I
around
don't
February.
know. And I don't think Jones matched up. Some libertarians are pro BLM because, like, when I say real libertarians, a real libertarian is not going to appreciate the police killing somebody in general. Not the, I'll call them neo-libertarians, even though I'm not sure that's a word.
It is now.
Yeah,
It is
I'm
now.
coining it. I'm going to write a book about it.
You can
Make
make up
money.
words if you want. Yeah. Okay, I just want to go back to this this thing here. The
should
campus. Hey.
I say, Ivy, you should title it "Shadow of the Bridge."
Nah.
Okay, the campus is now the Westville Correctional Facility, was originally Beatty Memorial Hospital, a state-run mental health facility which opened its doors in February of 1951. The hospital was named in honor of Dr. Norman Beatty, an Indianapolis doctor who had dedicated his career to mental health services. In 1974, a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court forced the state to reduce overcrowding in its prisons, creating the need for another prison. Governor Otis Bowen and the Indiana legislature transferred Beatty Memorial Hospital to the Department of Correction. In July of 1979, following renovations and additions, Westville Correctional Facility was opened. In 1991, a 220-bed maximum control complex was added. The facility now has the capacity for more than 3,400 incarcerated individuals and offers multiple group programs focused on community service and reentry. The facility has partnerships with Gold Standard Trust with Trust Manufacturing Facility on grounds with the University of Notre Dame and the Holy Cross College to offer the Morrow College Initiative. And then you guys can go down there and look at stuff. That one is just a little bit of background on for like an FYI type of thing about the facility. But they're building another one because remember, like that's what that thing said. And share screen, and gotta find the right one here. This one right here. Okay. So this is like 2 pages, and this one here, I'm not going to read all through it all or nothing like that, but it says services, reentry, WCC commission, goals, community relations. Basically, again, the commissioner, Robert J. Carter, John Glippo, warden, history, which we just basically read, staffing, WCC complexes, and the facts and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm going to drop the brochure link for that in the live chat. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it much more. People can, it's 1 hour and 33 minutes. So I'll do that. Okay. So Travis says, first thing they do is pull commissionary food and drinks from your cell. After 72 hours, they put you in a dry cell to monitor your input and output. Think about that. Like I said, I don't know nothing about the system whatsoever, besides listening to people and stuff like that, getting some more knowledge along the way.
There's a lot of inmates out there that they don't think they're being treated fairly, and I mean I struggle to think of one that thinks their life is good in prison, but for the most part, once they're in that penitentiary, I'm sorry, but this is the life you chose when you chose to break the law. Like,
I mean, we have basic human rights, and
yeah, they've got, what is it, 3 hots and a cot? Like a lot of people.
I mean, but this is like a rabbit hole we probably don't want to go down, but a lot of other countries do things differently and don't have the crime rates we do. Whatever we're doing is not working. Like that's statistically, you can see that.
Right.
Our crime is ridiculous.
And
the amount of we have incarcerated is ridiculous.
Oh, well, that's part of the that's a whole, prison for profit problem. But
Yeah, that should be illegal too.
You know, again, I mean, it should be mentioned. The whole discussion of Richard Allen, it has to be separated from inmates because he is innocent until proven guilty. So,
Well, that's just it. I was just gonna say that again. You know,
Yeah.
is that we don't know that he's guilty. Like, we might think it.
well, he has the
But
rights of an innocent person at this
Has he
moment,
right?
and and so how does that constitute with being housed with people that have been convicted of
But
being
in our
guilty?
country,
And he,
like we regularly incarcerate people who are innocent. Like that's logically to me wrong, but that's just how they do it.
well, no, I agree with you. I'm just talking about the legal
Yeah.
definition
The-
of being
The
convicted
technical.
or
yeah.
not being convicted. And he's not yet been convicted of anything, but he's being housed with people that have been convicted. But then again, his circumstances are special because he's being held separate,
Mhm.
and so no one really knows the answer to his treatment and whether or not it's actually better, like the warden says, or worse, like his
Well-
defense attorney said.
And culture is a real thing. I mean, if they're used to acting and treating their inmates a certain way,
Hmm.
that's just the way it is there. You know what I mean? It's no different than anywhere. You have your own culture in every basically company, I guess.
Just like a school.
Yeah. Or
And I
work
guess what I was saying more was, like even in county, you're still going to be with people that have been convicted. It's not like everybody's waiting for trial.
Right. And I don't know if you remember, Ivy, when Blaine was still
I feel like that was when I was like taking my break. I didn't see hardly any of him.
Blaine and
Oh, okay.
Andrew both, they both, from their experience, said that county jail is way worse than prison.
I've heard that from several people.
Right. Oh, yeah. We've constantly heard that about that county jail. You'd rather be in prison because then you have more rights, like in a sense, more freedom. You're not just stuck in a cube inside of the jail type of thing. That's kind of what Andrew and Blaine were all talking about and stuff. I mean, again, I have zero expertise besides people talking about things or have knowledge of, that have been in there talking about how it's been. I just what gets me, I get a little bit, is that John Gallupo guy, like, again, he was breaking his own darn laws. So when you have someone at the top that's already showing that they're not being honest, and then that these Odin, or what, let's just call them patches, okay? That these patches are even being worn, which is a big no-no. It does make me wonder what really is going on in that place. Um, I've always tried to believe that Richard Allen is in the right place, that is best to protect him. But that just could be me being naive about the whole prison system and whatever, and liking to believe that they're doing what they should be doing for Richard Allen. But it does make me wonder about it, because when you can't, that there's corruption, and then when you know that John Gallipo guy, has his own darn freaking, moving his family and breaking his the laws, whatever, and then they get what, like a slap on the wrist basically, and then they're wearing these patches that they're not even allowed to be wearing or shouldn't even be allowed. It just makes me wonder, going, I just, it doesn't matter, I guess, for any human being. You just want them, no matter what, to be treated with dignity and respect that every human deserves. Even the most violent offender, like, hey, you made your lifestyle, this is your whatever, but they still need to be treated, not like a dog, not like they're a piece of shit, even if they
Well,
might be. Or
the
just
problem is that not everybody believes that. A big chunk of the population doesn't believe that.
yeah, maybe. I'm just, I have a very soft heart when it comes to the treating of humans, regardless. Even though I might like, like an SK, it's like, dude, you deserve what you get. But do I think that they should be treated differently? Like they'll be placed differently and stuff like that. But just as a human being, I don't
agree.
know. Maybe I've watched too many documentaries and stuff, but
No, I totally agree.
yeah. So it depends on the county. Aspen sent you messages. Lacey, Aspen's flirting again. Rikers is a county and you don't want to go there. Hey, Travis, you've never been on one of our members' lives where we take you on a tour of Alcatraz. And you can,
I want to say quickly. So yeah, no, Chaotic had sent me a thing, and it's the new facility that they built in Indianapolis, and I agree with what she. It said the building circled is the new jail in Indianapolis, and and everything I've heard about this place, it would be a much better facility, and I could be completely wrong in this, but when they've asked for those transfers, I believe they have to. The facility they're requesting him be transferred to be receptive of it, and two, I think they have to actually name where they want him transferred to. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that was my understanding, and so I've not seen any mention of anyone asking for him to be transferred to this facility. But I do agree that I think everything about this facility seems like it would be able to handle him. I'm just not sure. Yes, Cass County said they would handle him, but they also said he would be in a smaller cell. They did not have the psychiatric help that he is receiving at Westville, and that his conditions would be no better.
right.
That's, you can think he needs to be moved, but that's what the sheriff of Cass County testified to.
I was trying to find an article about Carroll County and Dennis Randall when he was I don't know if he was the sheriff, I guess, as a county. Do you guys know that story about him and the food in the prison or in the jail?
I don't.
No.
It was in but sometimes mid 2000s, like 2005, 6, 7, and what I remember is that he had a budget for food for the jail for inmates. Any extra money that wasn't spent, he got to keep. Which, who came up with that rule? That is the dumbest oh my gosh. So then he got in trouble because he wasn't providing adequate meals and taking the money. And I wish I could find the article about it. And he lost his job. I can't remember if he lost his job or not. That whole family is, I don't know.
Yeah. The FBI keeps trying to get out of commission permanently. You're talking about, in LA over there. They were skimming money off the food budget at Ivy Rose from Carol.
Yeah.
Starve the inmates. I can message it to you, Ivy. Ellie Hawkins says they don't have psych peeps on a handful of time, but they could have handled him. So, they had the option to move Richard Allen. Remember? They had the option to move him within the correctional facilities, not county jail, but within the correctional facilities. But they didn't do that. So if one was better and it was so bad at Westville.
Oh, I forgot about that, Freckle Joy. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. What do you think about that, Charmaine? She's talking and she's muted, I guess.
No, I was just saying, think about what? I really don't. Richard Allen is a separate thing because he's not convicted yet. But because that, my brother spent 14 years in a maximum security prison, and he was mistreated and all the rest of it. I don't want to sound heartless. I really don't. The human rights or not, he chose to do what he did, and 2 children lost their lives because of that. So if he gets mistreated, as long as he's eating and he's sleeping every day, I can't. I feel like cold-hearted bitch right now, but I'm sorry. I don't have it in to kill.
It's your thoughts aren't wrong. Whatever your thoughts are is how you feel, right?
And I can relate because, like I said, my brother was in that position. He was. So say what you want. Don't feel bad. Sorry, not sorry.
So it's all good. It's all good. It's bad. Um, he slaughtered 2 kids. Who? You talking about Richard Allen, Stephanie?
The
No, I know, and that's exactly what I said, Carol. Richard Allen is different because he has not been convicted. But we're talking about Westville as a whole and the culture there and how these inmates are treated, and things may need to change. But to make a big issue out of it for me, it, and I'm Canadian too, so really I have absolutely no dog in the race. But for me, being a sister of somebody who did not what Richard Allen did, but he took the lives of 2 children. Um, Go do your time and shut up about it. And I'm sorry you get beat up, and I'm sorry you get mistreated, but pay the price for the crimes you commit. And like I said, I know how ignorant I sound. I get it, but
No. Never say sorry for how you're feeling on that stuff, especially when, like I said, you've experienced your experiences. I haven't experienced anything like that. Couldn't even tell you how I would feel, meaning you have to go through it in order to understand it really the best way, I guess. So, yeah, never apologize for your thoughts on that. Travis says, well, that's what they say. However, it's not the issue. The judge should be saying, I will house him in an alternate location for 30 days for you to arrange your county jail to have the right physical. I'm not sure if that ended there. I think so on that. I don't know. Ivy, thoughts? Aspen, thoughts?
about Travis's comment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the jail in Carroll County. I guess another issue could be how many staff they have. Maybe they're like short on staff like most places, but it's such a small jail that I would hope that you would think that they would be able to like keep things under control enough.
And correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, there've been one that they've motioned tried to get him moved a few times now, but Nick McClelland, like the prosecution never objected it, right? To my knowledge, they've never objected against him being moved. I think Carroll County did. The sheriff's department did.
No,
But I think didn't Gull even say she didn't have an opposition of moving him if the Indiana State Correctional Department found that it was in his best interest? Or am I making that up completely?
If the Indiana State, so if the prison, I guess that would just be the prison system, the state prison system.
And I could be getting the language wrong, but wasn't that said? I mean, I remember McClelland saying he didn't object to him being moved, and it was Carroll County that I think didn't want him to be moved. I could be mixing this up at this point, but I thought I thought I remembered Gull saying something about not having a problem with it if the Indiana Department of Corrections found it to be in his best interest.
Well, I can't imagine like McClelland really, like, why would he have a say? I would imagine that it would be Carroll County, since they would be the ones housing him, and they were the ones in the first place who, like, I forget what it was, but like motioned to have him moved, right?
When I think he was just noting he didn't have an objection to it.
Mm.
And I have to go back through all of the filings, but I mean, I typically don't just make things up in my head.
Yeah,
so
I think it's in the big bunch, and I never got around to like actually reading all of those, if I remember.
Mustang says, Adam, that's what I remember too. I mean, they said don't quote me on it, but because I need to go back and really deep look back into that.
I guess that would be more from like a you're coming from more of like a conspiracy against like the court and McClelland angle?
Well, no, I mean, just when people are like, oh, well, they refused to move him. I'm like, I feel like I remember the prosecution not objecting to having him moved. And also I feel like Gull herself said that she would issue the order if the Department of Corrections found it to be in his best interest, or something along those lines. Like, I'm not
Is
getting the
I
verbiage
wonder
right.
if county jails are they under the the DOC?
Not always.
I did want to say something to let's see, I can't see, to Stephanie. She had two comments. One was and it's our constitutional right to believe whatever we want, right? That's not a constitutional right, but I get what you're coming from. Like, nobody can tell you what to believe, and I don't think we're doing that. We're just discussing, and this is not a courtroom. Also,
Well,
we're discussing.
No, it's not.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sure if that was to be taken snarky, as she was being snarky. Stephanie, were you being snarky? Because sometimes it's hard to translate. But I kind of took that as snarky, and that's why I just kind of was like, it's her thoughts. As long as she can have her thoughts, but if it gets, I don't know. I just kind of took it as a bit snarky. Am I wrong in thinking that, or does that how it come across? No.
No.
Sometimes it can be weird with text. You lose.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, if it was or if it wasn't intended, I don't know. Bottom line is, as a channel, we have a right to talk about whatever we want to talk about, to be honest with you on here. And, we try to keep it fact-based and talk about, things like this, like right or wrong. Do you guys feel a certain way? We have that right to talk about that stuff. Even here in Canada, we're allowed to. So that's just the whole point of this channel, is that you try to bring out the facts as best you can, to your ability and what's going on, go over the documents like Travis has been doing, and then just discussing things as, as like anyone would do on a regular day when you talk to somebody in life and you talk about gossip and different stuff like that, like same shit, same pile type of thing. So it's just a discussion. That's all it is. So I'm not sure if you were being snarky. Now she says no. So
Wait, Sunny,
I just wasn't sure.
This is very important because I think this could be pinned at the top of every live we've ever done. Just so, I mean, it could apply to anything that we've ever said. And this is, I can confirm that what you said, Aspen, was fact.
Oh, of course you want. You want that to be pinned?
Can you pin that to every live we ever do?
Smarty tardy. Yeah. Okay. You want to play around with comments for a second?
No, I'm done.
Okay. What don't I pay you for? Okay. Westville is a shithole and fails at everything they offer, just like every other Indiana prison. Crime Investigator says everyone in Westville is treated like crap. Adam, you are right. Do you want me to pin that one on every live as well?
Yes, I mean, now that a lawyer has said it.
Sure, but right. Okay, then it becomes a little bit more special.
I'll just take those as like intros for my next video.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't know if you saw, but I think I was trying to find it. Greeno said he was in Westville. I want to say it was like
2014 to 2015, I believe.
Was that the place that you said that like a wall fell like next to you?
Wait, Sonny, you can pin this one too. Who just says he doesn't need a bigger head? I'm so offended, Jenica.
Just trying to keep it nice in here. I'm bringing out my holiday spirit.
Jenica doesn't like it because we can't both be right.
Okay, no, I don't even know where I am anymore. You
I
got me
think
all messed up.
you said it was the place, and there was an old mental hospital. I forgot that I read that, but I think the story was like a literal wall, like one of those like cinder block type walls, like fell, and they just put a tarp up.
Wow.
County jails.
Apparently, Indiana needs to spend the money they spend on their courthouses on their jails.
They have nice courthouses.
They're incredible. They're gorgeous.
What gorgeous? I'm too busy looking at
I said that Indiana needs to spend the money on their jails that they spend on their courthouses.
Oh,
because,
right.
I mean, look at how little Carroll County is, and look at how gorgeous their courthouse is. I mean, Miami County's courthouse is gorgeous. Allen County's courthouse is gorgeous.
I wonder if they're older from back in the money days.
Right.
Yeah, I remember, not to pick on you, Stephanie, but you said if it was your two kids or something like that, you would think differently. I disagree. It might be the way you feel. At the end of the day, regardless if it would happen to my child or not, I still would never want anyone to be treated like to dehumanize them, regardless. That's just the way I'm built as a person. Although I would wish that they drop the soap every day and different things like that, perhaps. And I wouldn't be so against, some of that stuff happening. But I just, I've watched a lot of documentaries, like I said, and, in the jails. And when I'm watching, the way some, like when they sneak cameras in there, and it breaks my heart because people are humans, right? Like, meaning when you see them getting treated like dogs, or like they're like a nothing or whatever. No, I can't agree with that comment myself. But that's like, you might feel that way, but I don't believe I would have to be in the shoes. But I still don't think that I would feel that way. Because at the end of the day, no matter how horrific or something, I still do not like any human being treated like they should be treated in a humane way. Doesn't mean that they should have all these luxuries and different things like that, but they should at least be treated, as a human being, and not like they're a piece of shit, even if they are a piece of shit, in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's, the shit that goes on behind it. Like, excuse me, fight going on. Let me just turn my back.
Well,
Like that's
the stuff that I was talking about. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but degrading and sexual abuse or anything like that. Yeah, of course, I don't back that at all. Obviously, I don't back any kind of abuse or mistreatment. What I'm saying is, they're going to get in fights with other inmates. They're going to always have to be looking over their shoulder. That's the culture. That's where they are. And I don't know. I just don't see how any amount of human rights is going to protect them from all of that. Human right. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm
right.
talking in circles a little bit, but I'm not saying I agree with somebody being mistreated to the point where they feel like they're a dog or whatever. But look at that Gaston guy. He made so many claims, and his crime, yeah, the claims were brutal, and I hope they weren't true, but compared to his crime, what do you think his victim goes through? You know what I mean? So at least he's got the freedom that he can file all these frivolous claims and make all these allegations and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't mean to take their human rights away, their human rights away, but their civil rights and liberties, yeah, that's the price you pay.
So just right, Charmaine. Does anyone have anything to say that? Adam or Ivy?
I missed the second half, but I think I got the gist of it.
Mhm.
And I get where that makes, even though I disagree because I'm just a bleeding heart, kind of like Sunny says she is, but that makes more sense to me than how I originally took what you were saying. That makes more sense to me. How I originally took it was like, whatever happens is fine. And it reminds me of during I don't know what correct word I'm supposed to use, during the time where everything shut down a year or two ago. It was during the end of when my stepmom was working at a state prison, and it was a woman's prison, and a woman was sick, and her cellmates were like, she's got ... She needs to go to the doctor. She needs to go to the doctor. And they never did anything. And she basically suffocated to death because nobody would do anything. Like, that kind of stuff is... And I sent, because that was like an insider information type thing, and I anonymously sent that in to kind of like a whistleblower type news people, and nothing was ever done about it. But stuff like that is or like not having running water. Not having like running water, and not having like the sewage backing up and stuff like that. Adequate food. All that's crossing the line, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm talking about the treatment from other inmates, and like Sunny said, maybe the guards will turn their back when things are happening or something. That's part of the course. Running water, food, stuff like that, your basic human needs, I guess. But you don't have a whole lot of rights when you murder 2 children, 4 people, however many, one person. I don't know. Just my jaded opinion. And like I mean, I tell you guys in the group all the time, I'm jaded and I'm not overly friendly.
I guess at some point I kind of feel like, and this is my general kind of life opinion, and I think that's one reason why a lot of countries are doing so much better in this area, is one of my favorite sayings is an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Like if what they did was bad, and if not saying that like what that would be the same as like killing 2 little girls, but we don't want to be those same like bad people perpetrating the same things or allowing the same things to be perpetrated on people.
Like stooping to their level, and I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I've never been in a correctional facility.
Nobody can really. Some people might disagree with me on this, but I'm a firm believer, and nobody can really control what they believe. Like you can control what you do, but you can't really control what you believe. So
You're controlling your 2 things, Ivy, your actions and your thoughts. Those are
I'm
the
not
only
even
things
sure you can control your thoughts.
well, unless most people can. Some people that might can, but
Wait,
it was always
did Travis call me a blind pig? No, I'm kidding.
I was wondering what that comment, what kind of country saying that was, and what it was supposed to mean.
Travis, I mean, I have struggled with body dysmorphia my entire life. You can't call me a blind pig.
Yeah. And
We know he's not blind. Let's look how well he reads all the court documents, Travis.
on there. I just want to say to Anthony Greeno, I respectfully decline your offer. Obviously, you know why. Now, although I thank you for keeping it classy and making the comments that you have, you know, so I'm trying just to say this in the most nicest way possible, that perhaps you might consider running a live, in a sense, yourself off of this topic yourself and discussing your experience in the Westville Correctional Facility with the things. For me, this channel has moved on from dealing with any people ourselves that, and doesn't just mean you. There's others as well for the drama aspect of it. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be, that you wouldn't keep it good and stuff like that. But I just, I'm just trying to say this in a very polite way. Thank you, but sorry, no thank you, because of the history. So, I didn't block you from, I've let you kind of say your thing. And again, I hope you grow as a person. Fair enough? Yeah. I'm just not at a point myself because, like I said, there's history back there, and I'm just not into drama and what would happen and stuff like that. So I'm just going to respectfully decline. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that at that. I'm not going to sit here and try to say anything more than that besides that. Ivy, no, she's not Canadian.
How dare you?
How dare you? There's 2 Canadians and 2 US here.
No, actually, Canada seems pretty good.
I don't know. It is a bigger, what I wanted to ask simply, you guys, was as of this moment, are you guys satisfied that Richard Allen is in the best place for him? Just yes for 1, 2 for no. And Adam, do you think at this point, do you think that he's in the best place that he should be in if you were just going by your gut feeling? Based on the information kind of we were talking about today, do you think Richard Allen...
I mean, I personally, I can't answer that because I've never been in the situation that Richard Allen's in or in any of the facilities in Indiana. My gut tells me from everything I know, regarding his situation, I feel like the number one priority is, I'm looking at this from a law standpoint, and if the Department of Corrections is tasked with keeping him alive to stand trial for the crime he's being accused of, I feel like so far they've kept him safe and alive for a year. I don't know if that could be said if he was in a different facility. So I know that kind of sounds like a Switzerland answer, but that's how I feel. I'm like, if the court decides he should be moved, then I think he should be moved. And if I see compelling evidence as to why he should be moved, which I don't think I have so far, then yeah. But I think whatever in the best interest of this case is what they should do.
Ivy or Charmaine, whichever. Just your honest
my
answer.
issue is the issue I have is, like I said, a systemic issue, not a Richard Allen issue. So no, I'm not comfortable with that, but it's not specific to him. And in this particular situation, I'm not really sure like what the solution would be. If
Right.
that's like the best non-answer I can give.
Right. It's like, which ugly person do you want to hook up with?
None.
Sorry.
Want to get some food and go home.
Travis. I sent Travis a message when he was saying, like, he said, yeah, don't worry about live tonight. And then Charmaine's like, I said, wish Travis was here. I was like, oh, I told him to take the day off. Anyways, so I sent a picture of a crab, and he's like, why is this crab staring at me? And I'm like, because I'm a Cancer, the crab. And then I sent him off what looked like a cowboy hat or whatever. It was just so funny. I know it's one of those inside things, but the crowd had these big googly eyes just kind of stare.
Hey, Sonny.
But
this is what my ex would tell me every night.
I suddenly feel like I'm the meanest, darkest soul when I was listening to you. Is that what your ex would say to you? It sounds truthful. I mean, I probably haven't seen, instead of pinning that other stuff about how wrong you are, or Travis sitting there. That probably is. That's something that Houdis would pin up on her thing, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Let's see.
Yeah, and that's bail's not an option in a murder case in Indiana, to my knowledge.
Why did Ashley Garth get bail? Is my question.
Oh,
what
you're
happened?
Talking about originally?
Yes, originally, and I was like, what?
Well, look at her charge. Her charge wasn't.
Okay.
Did she not have a murder charge?
No. Can I explain that one just for a second? So basically, whatever Ashley's original charges were, it was nothing to do with the murder of Nicole Bowen. So that's hence why she got like a $5,000 bond or whatever it was. And so basically, something about, I can't remember how it went, but her probation or whatever that she was going to get, or time, whatever it was based upon the fact that she didn't fail the polygraph test. And Chris Mathis had said, like, Ashley had run up to him saying, like, Chris, like, I punched Nicole Bowen in the face. Can they tell if my DNA is on there? Bottom line is so originally she was not charged with murdering of Nicole Bowen, just kind of like how Chris Mathis, and Talitha Beckley got off in a sense. But because her lying and failing the polygraph to go with it, meaning she was just simply lying, is hence why then the charges turned to murder. But that's originally, I didn't probably say that in a good way.
When she was charged with murder, was she put back in jail?
Yeah.
Or was she already in jail at that point? I don't know that timeline.
No, I believe I feel like I want to say that she was out on bond. She was out on bond.
Yeah,
right?
She was out on bond.
Yeah.
Actually, here, and that's true. She got bail because the state didn't want to offer up evidence in the hearing. Remember this? They actually chose not to offer the evidence up, so instead but she did eventually get a murder charge. But
And she
originally,
went
the
in
reason
jail
she got
to wait
bond
for
is
the
because
trial.
they wouldn't give up the evidence they had. It had to do with discovery.
Yeah. That makes more sense then.
Yeah. Thank you for answering that better, because it's like I know the thing,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
I'd
been a
forgotten
while
that
since
part. But that is why she got she
yeah.
got bond.
Well, I mean, and I don't want to knock case by case who's doing videos on her story and talking to like Ashley Garth. There's nothing innocent about Ashley Garth.
Oh wait,
Okay.
hey, can we invite that one person back in? Hey, Amber, where are you? Amber
Oh,
Blackburn, where are
Amber.
you?
Yeah. So sorry I blocked you, Amber. So sorry that you want to talk about Ashley Garth today. I really should have, knew that at the 2 hour and 10 minute mark that Ivy was going to bring that up about it. So you think I should unblock her, Ivy? No. I'm just kidding.
Is Amber Blackburn the one that's doing those videos about how Ashley's
I
innocent?
think she might be.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
That's why I knew the name.
Yeah. So it's just, you know what, each to their own thing on what they're doing. It's just, for me, it's pukable to me. How I feel about Ashley Garth.
Just don't make me watch any Open Secrets videos with Ashley Garth like on video.
Yeah, right. Isn't she still in jail herself? Actually,
I meant type videos because I think that Ashley Garth should always come with like any image or description of Ashley Garth should always come with a warning.
48 years Ashley Garth got, 55 years Garrett Kurtz got. Like I said, it's one of those things. You do the crime, you do the time. But I do not, by no means, ever feel sorry for Ashley Garth. Poor me, poor me, poor me. Sorry, you're not going to ever make me believe that you weren't offering up that freaking, cord, because obviously Ashley, who is pretty fugly ugly, to be honest with you. So sorry, Ashley, but it's true. And then you have Nicole Bowen, who's like beautiful. I'm pretty sure that Ashley would have been jealous of her regardless. Anyways, that was just a trap in itself, And she's ugly on the inside and out. Garrett Kurtz is ugly on the inside and out, and they are exactly where they belong. So there's no innocent woe is me thing. You mess up your life, you're paying for it. Sucks to be you. It is what it is. Instead of being a mother to her child, her grandmother is raising the child and stuff like that. Like I said, play with fire, you get burnt. In this case, it's going to be a very long, 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 long time. She's filing appeals, has filed appeals and stuff like that. Rejected because she was saying that it wasn't fair, that there wasn't enough evidence. Ivy, you started this though. On there. Anyways, yeah. Watching Change the Girl as well. Appreciate that. Last I heard, she was.
I want to say her sentence was like 3 years for some reason, but I would definitely. She was intoxicated and killed several motorcycles.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those things, like I said, like if you're drinking and you take someone's life and you she might have been a very good person and you mess up and then look at that, or and she has children. So, I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, you might not agree on this, but the two things I always remember that some great person said wasn't Travis, sadly, on this one, Travis, because I didn't know you then. Or was it, you're in control of your own thoughts and your actions. That's it. You can't control anybody else's thoughts or action, only your own. And to me, that is so true. I never try to blame anyone for what I'm doing. If I've done something wrong, or the BG, in my story, I've had to apologize and say, look, I've learned my lesson. I kind of didn't know, people were calling people out. And I was just like, oh no, I found him, Garrett Kurtz, this whole angle, blah, blah, blah. They're all talking about da-da-da-da-da. And then you suck it up, you apologize, and then you just move on because you've learned from your mistakes in a sense, right? So that, for me, this Delphi case has certainly taught me a lot and to grow in a sense. What were you going to say, Charmaine?
I wasn't going to say a thing. I'm
Oh, I
listening.
thought. Oh, I
Interesting
thought
to
you
me.
said.
You have such strong feelings towards, Ashley Garth and her incarceration, I guess. I wonder how you feel about her human rights behind bars.
About her human rights.
Yeah.
I think that everyone deserves to be treated humanely. Like I would never wish that on anyone at all, not to be treated as if, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just humanely. Doesn't mean you earn all these rights. Doesn't mean you get all these fun special privileges. Just being treated as a human and not getting deprived or like I said, guards not doing their jobs and stuff like that, and watching people get killed or hurt because they turn a blind eye to it and stuff like that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone at all, to be honest with you. Like, it's just my feeling. I used to cry like a little baby whenever somebody would get hurt. That's hence why I didn't watch news and media back when I was 26 till I was in my 40s and came
Right.
across Delphi because of that reason. Or actually, no, I guess I was about 50, right? One or whatever. Because it just hurts my heart when people, even the most despicable ones in the world, still deserve to be treated with an ounce of human decency.
I agree.
To me.
An
My
ounce.
I don't even like drop the soap jokes.
opinion.
Hey, Ivy, neither do I.
Wait, wait, what did I say? You don't like the drop the soap jokes?
Yeah, because you're like wishing for somebody to be like sexually assaulted. That seems terrible.
And that's okay. Everyone knows that that's a running joke of prison. Don't drop the soap. Don't drop the soap. That's all that is. Yeah.
So I think that, True Crime Investigates says, an opinion from you all. Do you think R.A. had remorse or ever broke down and cried to himself over feeling guilty about this? And, without knowing Rich Allen's one, guilt or innocence, to his mindset and his frame of mind, I don't think any of us could really answer, but I would think that anyone that committed this crime probably lived in such a desperate state of despair and weakness
And anxiety, really.
that their entire life had to be filled with guilt and remorse over a lot of things. Whether or not there was remorse or guilt over their crime, I don't know. But I would think that it would have to be a miserable existence to live in. I would hope, at least. So.
I want to say I'm curious. So for these 5 to 6 confessions that he made to his wife, why would his wife still be standing behind him? Supposedly from the whole hang up thing and stuff like that. Like, there's something there that's not making sense at all.
Because we don't have the context of those admissions.
Correct. But just the fact that was even put out there, that he made 5 to 6 confessions by, like I said, the lawyers.
Admissions of involvement or guilt, whatever the word.
Yeah, however. But the thing is that that if you even, I mean, if he just out and out said that yes, I'm so sorry, I mean, most people would be gone so freaking fast, but maybe it wasn't as, maybe it wasn't as, what was I want to say, like, it's the word I'm looking for, guys. It's not as bad as what it sounds, type of thing. And maybe it wasn't quite the way it was said, and that's why she's still there, because, who knows?
And
we don't know.
We don't. Yeah, no one can speak to the frame of mind of someone that's put in Kathy Allen's position. So I'm not even going to try. I mean, they had so many years. They've had so many years of being married and being together. Even if she believed his confession to be true, I'm not even gonna I'm not going to even speculate on what would make someone still support someone that, you know, because I think that just because someone does a horrible thing doesn't mean that someone that loves them can't continue to love them.
Can we also point out, and it's not this case obviously, but Rex Heuermann's wife recently started showing up for him even after filing for divorce. Granted, now she's got a film crew following her around. It could be something bad, but it does show she's said on, you know, TV or whatever that she doesn't think that he's capable of doing those crimes. So,
you know, look at Jeffrey Dahmer's dad.
yeah.
I mean, you know, that was not an easy relationship to begin with. And, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer's father, you know, he continued to support his son through loving him until the end of Jeffrey Dahmer's life. And that, you know, that's a testament to the fact that, you know, someone can do a horrible, horrific thing and people can continue to love them. They don't have to love what they did, but they can continue to love them.
And same with my brother, you know, what he did was absolutely horrible, and I stuck by him for so long as I possibly could. I mean, because that's your family, that's kind of what you do. You know? I think
Right.
the people don't stay by their loved ones that make these kind of horrific mistakes and decisions and choices. I think that in a way they're a lot stronger than some of us.
I had a conversation with somebody, and this is about like the time when he was arrested, not necessarily now. A lot of people were, or at least they seem to have the expectation that she should have left him when he was charged, and they said a lot like, you know, that's what they would do in that situation. But in my opinion, unless like the situation is that they had it was an abusive relationship or whatever, I'm going off of the assumption that it was a normal, healthy relationship. Somebody that you have been dating since high school and married for 25 years, I find it odd that if somebody came and you'd never like had an inkling that he was like that, the police show up, they charge your husband, my initial thought wouldn't be, well, he's guilty, guess that's over. Like, that's crazy to me. And I think that's weird.
When was the DV police call? Was that
it was it DV?
Was it 2015?
I don't know, but was it domestic violence though?
Oh, maybe not. Don't quote me on that.
It was for alcohol. It was like belligerence, basically. Like, but I don't know if it was. It could have been. I mean, that does happen a lot in those situations.
Was it 2015 though?
I don't know.
So I'm just, you know, after you. So I mean, but you know, who knows? And I agree. You know, if I would be too, but I've never been in that position, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess it's probably time to wrap the live up, to be honest with you. It's even though, you know, you guys know I could talk forever if I wanted to, but
yeah, I'm tired.
Because my husband, he's gaming. Him and his brother out there gaming along and stuff
What are
like
they
that.
playing? That's not like I know any video game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was a new one that came out, but I forget because every week I ask them what game they're playing, and then it's like, oh yeah, just got another one. And I'm like, because he was waiting for a certain game to come out. I love how he missed telling me about that game because I was like, you bought that game, didn't you? Not that he didn't deserve it, but anyways, him and his brother are constantly.
Can I answer this real quick?
Yeah.
Stephanie made two like comments. There was one up here too about. Oh, where's it at? She said, why isn't his wife out there protesting? Why doesn't she call the Department of Justice if she really believes he's being abused and innocent? And then she just now said, why isn't his wife screaming in the courthouse and out there raising hell if she knows he's innocent? When have you ever seen that happen? That is not the like appropriate behavior in court. It would do him like worse. Unfortunately, like even if she believes he's innocent, she has to go through the process. And yelling at the judge is not helpful.
And that's smart, Ivy, because that's true. You know, if your loved one is in the position that Richard Allen's in, and you know, most people have never been in this type of situation before. So anything that you think might adversely affect your loved one, of course you're not going to do. I mean, even if you were to listen to some of the Alec Murdoch um, prison calls, I mean, some of the stuff. I mean, I think that and again, I've never been in prison and I've never been in jail, so I'm like, I don't know, but from the experiences I've had, like listening to people and talking to people that have been, you're in such an what's the word? An insulated bubble when you're in a facility that your entire life revolves around what's happening in this very insular environment. And so, things that wouldn't matter to someone on the outside start to become a hyper focus or more important than they would be. And anything that could disrupt a piece in that, even if we can't understand it on the outside, becomes much more important to the person that's inside of that environment at the time. That's
And
my
there's also
understanding.
so much fear for Kathy Allen. There's got to be so much fear, like inside, like wondering, like she might not think that he's capable of doing this, but why did they arrest him? And why does the PCA say this? And she's probably heard what's going around in these types of circles. There's got to be some kind of internal fear that, for me, even just it keeps you quiet, right or wrong. It keeps you quiet, and humiliation too.
Yeah. And
Maybe
even if she
someone
thinks
has
he's innocent,
humiliating to the family.
look at how people have treated her. Can you imagine if she was screaming off the rooftops, no, he's innocent, how bad people would
I'm
treat her?
sorry. 1 second.
She's probably hiding somewhere, hoping people don't figure out where she's at or her phone number.
Exactly.
And Travis, yes, this will all be on Netflix.
One day.
Oh, absolutely. He's too
When
busy.
she gets 100,000.
Yeah. And Anthony Greeno, the email's right across the top there at crimingshame@gmail.com. Sorry, I was asking my husband what he was playing. And then I went off and gave the toilet a drink. And then he said he was playing Tetris and he was playing all these different games, Angry Birds. So they must be having like a fun night. But normally, so the new game was Call of Duty, Adam.
What is he, a middle-aged woman? Sorry.
I was going to not say anything.
I conquered Tetris. Back in the day, I was a freaking pro at that stuff. That's all I did all day when I got back from work was when I was younger, we would sit there and play Tetris. And, I conquered that freaking game and Mario Brothers back in the day. But then
I like Risk in the game of life.
I like Payday.
And
Those are very thinking games. You got to think a lot with those games, Adam.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask you just a random question here. What's your guys' favorite thing? I like word unscramble. Like that's one of my favorite things.
Game, you mean?
No, just any type of like game. I don't care if it's a board game or a online game. Well, RuneScape is where me and my husband met, so I should say that one.
I like that one that's on Pornhub.
Same.
Life's over. Travis, when you said you couldn't control your thoughts, I'm pretty sure Adam isn't almost a lawyer anymore. So you're probably right, Travis.
Entertainment law.
Yeah, Alice is like, yeah, out of here, peace. But I love to unscramble words. I love card games, backgammon, crib, all those ones. My dad taught me when I was like 8 years old. My stepdad how to play all those games. So I can play any card game. I love those stuff. But I've always liked unscrambling words and seeing how many words you can make out of it. Or as well, those type of things. Anyways, and that's just an FYI. You don't have to care. Hi, Drunk Turkey. How are you, Daniel? How are you doing? My favorite things are taxes and building a strong portfolio.
I thought I was a nerd.
I was gonna say, I can't say that I wake dreaming up to do that every day. But hey, no. As he said, they're powering.
I think we know Daniel a little bit better than to believe that's true.
I know Daniel. Daniel's nose grew like Pinocchio there.
Daniel, I guarantee Daniel laughed when I said that Pornhub thing.
Yeah. I think Travis was like, oh God, better put some more drinks down. Did I just hear Adam properly?
Travis is
never-
like Travis is like Google. What is?
Yeah, what is Pornhub? I never played really Risk. I played it a couple times. Can't say like Monopoly. Sure.
Wait, I've got to say, can I interrupt really
No,
quick?
you gonna show another good comment about yourself?
No, I mean, can we all just appreciate the irony in that?
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let it go. I
I feel
muted.
I
I'm
feel
just
like that's
playing.
a lie too. Go to jail. Go to jail. Pay $200. Get out of jail. Go to jail.
I think he knew it when he wrote it.
I
Yeah.
know. That was pretty funny. Greeno. And then let's see. What did Travis just say there? I saw something. Or no, maybe it was oh no, wait. Travis said the game. Yes, absolutely. You can just message Adam privately about that.
I'll send you a link, Travis.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the video goes yellow. This does not surprise me. What'd you say, Charmaine?
Said it's kind of like solitaire.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like
Oh.
knee slapper.
It's not a team sport.
I came into I'll just say P-Hub just for the sake of it. Adam's used that word over too much. I'm afraid to hit the freaking YouTube thing. Let's see here. Still green. Yeah, we're still green. I thought I walked in the wrong chat. Cribbage, love cribbage. I love backgammon. I like games. Except the only thing I don't like.
Minesweeper? Is this like Windows 95?
Oh, Minesweeper. The only thing I don't like. Hey, I have a good one here. Okay, I have to tell you a quick story. We were so in BC here when we lived in Coquitlam, we had this neighbor Brenda, and I think his name was Travis. Actually, his name was Travis. Anyways, he was a total chauvinistic D. Okay, not saying you are Travis, but this guy was. And Brenda was so sweet. She was a redhead, but she was like a little, just a sweet thing. And anyway, so we went to their house. They moved away because before they lived right beside us, and then they moved away. We went and played that newlywed game or whatever it was. And the question was, what's your wife's whatever favorite game? Never laughed so freaking hard. Well, no, I have, but and his answer, it wasn't a game. He said mind games.
That's pretty funny.
Favorite game.
That's good.
Yeah, that was funny. And you could see her face. She, like when you're watching people and you're watching their eye contact, and it was like, bam,
She would have been a little too close to the truth for her.
Did anyone ever play these games? Wave Racer. Dawn. I haven't heard of that. No.
Is there a game that any of you play every day?
Yes.
Well, I can't. Mine's
Solitaire for
yeah.
cash.
What is it, Ivy?
Solitaire for cash, and you get to gamble money for play solitaire.
Oh wow.
Playing
I'm not a good
like
gambler.
solitaire is my because I have anxiety, and if I'm feeling like overwhelmed, it can get me in trouble sometimes because I'll do it for an hour. Anything that I can focus on that doesn't allow my brain to go other places is.
See, Ivy, that's how I feel about the P-Hub game.
Yeah, you just focus. You gotta have the focus for it to work.
If I'm overwhelmed.
I always like playing games for money, even just like, like a Remoli or whatever. And you just play games like poker. Like I like Texas, and I used to do online gambling and stuff. What I can tell you is this: I can win a shitload, and I can be really fucked up and lose a shitload. And so in our family, I guess, hey?
That I do enjoy gambling.
Yeah, I lost, I literally won $8,000, freaking turned that back to zero all within about 4 hours. Yeah.
Oh my
That's how
god.
stupid. Yeah, because I got greedy. I was like, well, let me go from $20, start off at $5, then $10 and $20 and $50. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to hit the $100 ticket.
Oh my gosh.
No, trust me. Yeah. So I can't gamble because I don't know how to control
Huh.
myself, to be honest with you. I can win a lot, but I'm stupid. I get stupid,
Right.
and so that's my thing. Is that you know even I have to know when enough is enough, and
I
but
feel like a
apparently
baller when I'm doing the $2 slots.
the $2. Yeah.
I've never played that game. I've never played that game, Deb.
Which game is that one?
7 Little Words.
I haven't heard of it.
I play Wordle every day, and now I
Oh,
play
Wordle.
I play Connections every day. If anyone isn't playing Connections, that game is fun.
What is
it?
Connections?
It's by the New York Times as well. You know, they
Is it
they
the
do
math
Wordle,
one?
but it's like you have to group. There's 16 words, and you have to group them into 4 categories. And one day every day there's a new puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
I want to try
Yeah.
that. Have you ever
You
done
know-
their math one?
No.
It's hard.
One day we'll have to play. It's only for members that we typically do this, but not. But I like it when we were playing the Scribble game, Scriblio.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
Yeah, when you draw and then your team comes in and then I love stuff like that, Scriblio. And it's so funny because I can paint, I can do certain things. Like put me on that little Scriblio thing and my art looks like I was like a 2-year-old. It's it's like, how do I use that stupid?
I would love to, but I have to warn you guys. My boyfriend often
see the
refuses
chat?
to play games with me because sometimes I get a little overly competitive
Oh,
because I take all the fun out of it.
are you one of those sore losers?
No, not. I don't mind like losing. It's during the game that I take it too seriously, I think is what it is. So then later I'll be like Googling like strategy for risk or whatever. And he's like, oh my
See,
God.
I'd be doing that. Like, what chess move do I need to make here? I need to win. Need to win.
I
Yeah.
like strategy games when I'm playing with other
Oh.
people. Like I like solitaire by myself, but I like risk and strategy games with other people.
When my ex and I used to play games, every time I would it would turn
Resident
into a
Evil.
situation where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not enjoying myself.
We tried to go to a escape room once. He almost left in the middle of it. Ugh.
Really? We cheated in ours.
It highlights those communication breakdowns you have in relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
know-
I should add escape rooms and do couples therapy afterwards.
You know what? When we were out in Calgary, my sister came out and we did an escape room, and then my husband, he freaking knew how to freaking pick the locks. So this lady goes, "Wow, how'd you guys do that so fast? Because you can't get to this one if you don't do this one first." No, just figured it out.
Richard Allen did an escape room. Remember?
I think Charmaine was going to say something.
Nope.
Oh.
I wasn't.
Everyone remembers that picture, right, with Richard Allen at the escape room?
No. It was I couldn't decide if that was a joke or true.
No, that was a real picture.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was from 2018, I believe, with Richard Allen at the escape room.
I either haven't seen it or I saw it and I didn't realize what it was.
I mean, I'll have to go back through like 30,000 pictures, but I'll find it for you, Ivy.
I have to go through my pictures and get rid of stuff.
I want to tell you, when I used to do like the Star magazine, those shit tabloids, the reason I would buy that is so I could do the crossword in there, which was a huge crossword. That's where I actually learned. And I hate big words because it's just never been my style to use certain words. Like instead of just say hate, people go, I despise you, and that type of thing. But it was that crossword was so big and it was very mind challenging. And so I would always do that every week that it came out. And you know what? The one thing I remember is like the most is Eros is a god of love. That's one thing that actually I remember the most if I think about that. Huh?
What is it again? Eros?
Eros. Yeah, god of love. It's the only thing, only because that one would always be on the crossword all the time. But anyways,
one of us is going to win $1 million in a game show with that answer one day.
Wheel of Fortune would be my favorite show to be. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. I always like those ones. Wheel of Fortune.
I like Jeopardy better, but
Yeah, probably. That was one of those ones I probably would get maybe one answer out of 10 right.
I love Family Feud.
Hmm.
I was talking about that one. Those are my favorite. I don't, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Am I the only one here? Because I totally did not enjoy escape rooms. I thought it was the most boringest thing ever.
I've never been to one. No, trust me. If you knew me, none of my friends were taking me to an escape room
I just thought it was really, maybe it
because
was
they're all going to be like, he's not going to want our help. He's going to try to do it himself.
That's
Oh.
exactly what I did.
Yeah. I just like the fact that my husband cheated us all the way through it. And then we made it to like basically, you know, someone gets their picture on the wall because you're the fastest. Okay, so wrong. Okay, so wrong. I
would
honestly,
have refused to go anywhere else with you after that. I hate cheating.
Well, me too. Okay, I will totally admit I do too, but I wasn't the one cheating. The husband was, and I approved because I actually was quite bored in there. I was like it was just one room, and then you just had to figure it out. And I love stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason, it bored the heck out of me. I don't know. Maybe
my friends don't want to take me to putt golf. They don't want to take me to skee ball. They don't want to take me to Busters. They don't want to take me to an escape room. I think I might be competitive.
Might be. I'm competitive, but I'm a good loser. You know,
I'm not.
Yeah, it sounds like Ivy goes and throws a temper tantrum in the room and locks her up.
He's just picky, and I get competitive with myself. I think that's might be where I'm mostly competitive is beating myself.
Yeah, I hate it when I disappoint myself, but I played a basketball in high school. Like I played all sports, but the one I remember most was our championship in grade 8 or 9, I think it was, and it was, trust me, you guys. This was one of those games where we were down like 6 points, and this girl on our team, Tara Spicer, who was a total butch, girl.
Docs are right. Docs are there, okay, and say something else about it.
So Tara Spicer, out of the blue, like we were playing against, I can't remember the team even now. Anyways, we were playing against Nickel, which is the best team when you got to the division finals and stuff like that. But anyways, so Tara Spicer, who is known for not being a great player, whatever reason, the gods, freaking helping out or something here, because Tara kept stealing the ball. We got 2 minutes left of the game, and the girl would come down the court and she would take that ball out of her hand as she was dribbling and score. And we literally were down 6 points. And in the last literally seconds, we literally won that championship. And but when I played, I never got mad, but I'm not gonna lie, I would have been fucking effing pissed because we're a good team and you win all the way throughout your regular ones. But Nickel had these like freaking 6-foot Sasquatches from women on their team, and they were really good. But anyways, Adam, look at me. Okay. Anyways, but I was never a sore loser. I can say that, never a sore loser, even though I was competitive. Yeah, especially when you have a twin sister growing up, eh? As I was like, you're not gonna.
If I ever lose, I'll have to let you know how it feels.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyways, you guys, it's been a great live. Oh, well, hold on. Drunk Turkey comes off with this huge message at the end here.
Wait, did you read Deb's comment? I want just Deb. Trunk Turkey.
Trunk Turkey.
Yikes.
Like that. He's probably
that might make me pee my pants. LOL.
Don't you love it when Deb gets talking dirty like stuff like that?
I mean,
I know,
it's either because she's
typically,
or because we all joke about Deb's autocorrect game.
Wait, excuse me, Deb, how many subs are you at now?
Yeah,
are you at 1,000?
If anyone's not subscribed to Deb's True Crime Notebook, go subscribe to her notebook, to her channel. I mean, Deb puts out honest, good, quality content, and she's almost at 1,000 subs.
And she always has the best songs to add to them.
She does. She gets them from me.
Adam,
I need 7 more.
She needs 7 more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys, come on now. If you guys aren't subscribed and you're watching this channel, please go sub to Deb. Help a fellow true crimer out. Help her get to her 1,000. That's like a goal we've tried to help out other people with as well. and we appreciate those that help us out throughout, like the trunk turkey show, you know.
Hey, Sandy, or hey, Queen.
When he comes on our lives and stuff like that. It's always nice when they pop on. It looks
I
like
just
you were in
realized
control.
I've got like 1% left
On your phone?
on my computer.
Oh, on your computer.
Well, plug it
Oh, on my
up.
laptop.
Oh, laptop. Okay, gotcha. I'm like, computer. I'm on a desktop. What do you mean percentage? But you're right. Sorry,
Well,
laptop. Okay. Anyways, you guys, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for all your interaction with us tonight. Travis, go watch the thing on the Alcatraz, or maybe we'll take you for a ride on Aspen Airline. Yeah.
right. Or just go check out that B-Hub game.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, Charmaine,
You can
do you have
choose your
anything-
partner. Sorry.
Charmaine, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we head off?
No,
Are
I'm
we
good.
we're gonna do our Canadian true crime tomorrow at some point. I'll schedule it, right? I think we're doing that still, yeah?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
Am I invited this week?
Yeah.
We were invited last week. You didn't show up. We waited.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, I mean, whatever. Okay, American, you're allowed to come on. But anyways, yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what time we're doing it. Probably like sometime around 4 or 5 p.m. Not positive yet. But anyway, so we'll have our Canadian true crime, and we're gonna go over like the top 10 worst cities to live in, and the top 10 say worst people in Canada type of thing. It's just gonna be like an FYI fact thing about Canadians, and you guys can learn a little bit more about us, okay? Besides the fact of maple syrup and stories and
Oh, wait.
hurt our
Before you go,
feelings.
can Charmaine and Sunny, can you both say
Yeah.
the word incorrect?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Okay.
And now I'd like to say before we go, Travis, even at work, when I say process, I have to say process. And I've had everybody I know say process.
You're welcome, Anthony.
I can't hear that.
Thank you for being respectful.
There you go, DTS. Thank you.
What did he say?
I have to go so I don't fall off. So
Ivy.
I'll go bye right now.
We were just waiting for your battery to die. That's the only reason why we're still on. No, just kidding. Thank you, Ivy. Love you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Ivy.
you for having me on. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Yeah.
Drunk DTS said, oh, Sunny.
Oh, Adam. God, your heart
DTS
is
said
there.
that they will get some of their friends to sub. We will get you there.
Absolutely. You know what, Daniel? We'll take about 20K over here as well.
Yeah.
Nothing too excessive before Christmas, but going from 10K to 30K before Christmas, that's not so out of the ballpark, eh? Yeah. Just
I think DTS. I think they're like they're at their 1 year mark. I think now.
Ooh, are you guys? Yeah. Anyways,
Lisa
yeah.
Lisa says Alberta is the only city without rats.
Well, Lisa,
There was at 997.
that was something that we always said was true. It's not, however, but we'll just keep it that way because it was always Alberta doesn't have rats.
Alberta is a province too. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Deb did correct it. It is 993.
But
Yeah, 993.
when I pull up her channel, it says 997.
Oh, let me pull it up then. Just one sec.
I mean, of course, the studio is going to tell you the accurate thing, but
Yeah. It says 1K.
What? Yay!
It says 1K subscribers. Yeah, Deb. Hold on. Stop. It's present. It says 1K, Deb. See this?
well, she said I need one more sub to hit 1,000, so she must have hit it.
Yay! Deb, do you want us to play our 10K so that you feel like, or do you just want me to make a whole new one, like for our next live on there? Okay, good night,
That's
everyone.
awesome. Deb deserves it. So thank you guys.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And
Oh wait, and you know we also did hit 10,000 or like last week, whenever that was.
right, it was just the other
Or
day.
was it the other day? Whenever.
It was like a couple days ago.
No big deal.
Deb, it says 1K. You want a screenshot? Yay! Because this is like honestly, this is always what hurts me the most is when you have a really good person such as Deb, who's a beautiful person inside and out. She paid me to say this, by the way. This is a paid program. I'm so sorry, but anyways, and then it's a struggle just to get the subs, and I get it, and I'm so proud of you because this has been how many months and months in the making on that.
Wait.
So I just wish I had something to pop off with or some freaking champagne or something like that.
Well, Deb
Anyways,
doesn't. So, thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you, everyone that subscribed to her, though.
just subscribe. That's awesome of you
I'm
guys.
I'm starting to get my speech impediment.
Anyways, again, to me, true crime. People are supposed to really stand together and help each other out instead of bring people down. So with that being said, thank you guys for subbing to Deb, helping her get over that 1K mark. Deb, apply to no, just kidding. Congratulations. I feel like I'm Christina Randall right now. You know how much I love you.
Now we just need to get the hours in. So Deb, let us know when you want to do a simulcast.
Yeah. It's not easy. No, it's not. It's not. It's
No.
definitely been a while. It's definitely been a minute, Adam. I was sitting there just hovering up, down.
Well,
It was like
it's funny because it felt like it was never going to happen, but then it's like that last 3 months. It's like we were right at the precipice, and I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah. Love you, girl. Love you, girl.
The worst.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna play our 10. Right? Charmaine, do you ever? Charmaine?
I think your voice is coming through my mic.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, do you got like a little double child, like a double thing coming in through your mic that's like George or something on there?
So you never know.
That's why it threw me off a couple times because your things moved, and then you're like, no, I didn't do anything. Yeah, Deb needs to do a live stream, right? It's about time Deb do a live stream on there.
I said we'll even simulcast with her, so that she can get the hours.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anyways, so we're gonna head out. I think I'm just gonna actually, you know what? I'm just gonna play our Deb in your honor. I will play our 10K one just so you can feel like it's a party going on or something like that. But again, congratulations to this channel from all you guys that have helped us achieve the 10K mark. Kind of like a stepping stone. Numbers are just numbers, but it still meant a lot. You still kind of have little hurdles, personal hurdles that you like to meet and whatever. So let's see here. I'm just trying to find the intro. Is that the one? Wow, did I not name it? New intro. Shoot. Did I? Just give me a second. What? Just as us a crime shame. I didn't delete it, did I? Hold on, I just gotta test something out for a second. Hold on. I guess you'll never know. What if I play? Just give me a second. Where did it go?
Well, it's still on your channel from 2 days ago.
No. Yeah, but it should have been in my videos. Like when you uploaded a video. Maybe I guess I took it out. Remembering Defense Diaries. Oh well.
Yeah, I think you took it out. It's not there.
You know what? I'm gonna end with remembering Abby and Libby instead. We'll do that. And Deb, we'll make you a nice little congratulations video for you. Okie dokie. So congratulations again. Love you guys. Have a great night, and thank you for good live. Okay, guys. Take care.
Good night, everyone.